I say every day. It's a getting closer to taking a bath with my fucking toaster.
We're not qualified.
Explorers in the further regions of experience.
Did you not listen?
Then the hell with you.
Greetings, salutations, and welcome to the 198th episode of Screaming Into the Void. My name is Samuel the Infamous, and this is the show where we talk about whatever the hell we feel like. Joining me this afternoon, I guess. I don't know. It's morning to me. We have Caucasian Sasquatch.
Time travel.
Yeah, it's not so much time travel as that I didn't get up till a little bit ago. So, it's morning as far as I'm concerned. And I have this subjective view of time in the same way that transgenders have a subjective view of physical attributes.
Well, the thing is, time is subjective.
Yeah, no, it's a whole thing. So, anywho, we also have joining us Abe.
Howdy.
Indeed, sir. Indeed. Welcome in, everybody. We are live currently on Twix, YouTube, and Rumble. Two separate YouTube channels, Caucasian Sasquatch and my own, Samuel the Infamous. If you're in any of those places, drop a comment. Let us know you are there. Also, you will notice pinned in both the YouTube comments and the Rumble comments a link to our friend Gals Give Send Go. We're working on that. We just crossed 4,700 out of 6K. So we're making some progress on that. Please share that out to as many people as you can. Treat it like California treats AIDS. Don't even tell them you're giving it to them.
Jesus.
That said, welcome in, everybody. We'll say hello to the chat here real quick, and then we will get on with the show. First up, we've got Ardent Party in the chat. Howdy. Speaking of which,
it was his birthday today.
Yeah. Happy birthday, brother. Unfortunately, the birthday short that I made of you last week, about the sprinkles and the Coca-Cola, it didn't do so well, unfortunately. It's kind of sitting in like the low 10s.
What did?
Not a whole lot. I had one that kind of blew up a little bit, but it was just it was probably because I used a pun. And it was a bad one.
It was funny, not clever.
It was gay stuff.
So, and in fact, Arden himself was kind of mad at the pun. So he was like madder at the pun than the fact that I put him on there talking about sucking dick for sprinkles.
Yeah.
So anyway, welcome in. We've got Mr. Beak with us. Howdy. We have the chairman. That's a
welcome in, chairman.
Yeah, very much so. We've got Todd Bushy. Welcome in. We have Sewer Dog the Patriot. That's a name.
Welcome back, brother. I ain't seen you in a minute. I was in one of your live streams a while back, but I was driving and I couldn't type. So much love, brother.
Yeah. We have some
nice.
With some people who view and are occasionally on the panel who haven't taken that lesson to heart yet about not doing things like that while you're driving. We've got John Denicola in the chat. Howdy. Good to see you. Scrolling on down, I see an old blindy. Howdy. Good to see you. Welcome in. There's Aaron Laura, a wayward Aaron Laura, who just dropped a comment on the very first episode of Abyssal Musings that we did like 3 years ago, like 20 minutes ago. So thank you, I guess, for
the Aaronator.
Back and watching it back when we had no idea what the fuck we were doing.
Wait, have we figured it out yet?
No, but it looks better.
Okay, go ahead.
No.
Taking it. So we have Fletch in the chat. Good to see you, Fletch. I believe that's everybody so far. Like I said, drop a comment as you come in. We'll do our best to acknowledge your existence, unlike the gods. Anywho, So the U.S. is no longer in the World Cup.
Oh no!
Oh no!
And for some reason,
Now what?
half of Europe is treating it like Belgium beat the Nazis in World War II. Which, by the way,
Meanwhile, the other half
they
of
didn't
Europe
in
is
World War
planning a
that's a
movie
bit of-
here.
They got their asses stomped in World War II, like waffles. But
Yeah, I think all of that's a bit of a stretch, to be honest.
Do you know what a waffle stop is, sir?
Yes.
So, anywho, it is pretty funny to me though that there's a bunch of people saying, "Yeah, this is a blow against American, fucking identity bullshit or whatever." And I'm just like, is it though? Because you're talking about a game.
Well,
Hold
that's
on.
bullshit, though.
Number one, we notoriously suck at, my countrymen and I. We're not good at soccer. We never have been. And number two, it's not a game we particularly give a fuck about.
Well, I would say credit where credit is due. The United States has gotten consistently better over the past, 2 decades at football.
Welcome in, young guy.
I'm not gonna call it football just because the Europeans are insistent on it.
Yeah. I can hear your facial expression, Sam.
I'm sure you can. It's very loud.
I could smell it.
It's loud like a neon shirt.
Very fishy.
The US has actually gotten really quite good.
Oh, sure.
And
I mean,
they've done so well.
do is we absorb these other countries' players, right? We call them American, and then we put them right back out there doing exactly the same thing. It's time-honored tradition in America. I know y'all don't understand this, having a English.
No, it's no. France does the same with Africans.
English team, is that? I mean, I don't claim to have an American team. I'm claiming it as a team from America.
Yeah,
it's subtle difference. So what was the name of
English
the
team, right?
Yeah, what was the name of the player that that had that red flag that red card that was reversed?
50-50 chances, Muhammad.
No, it wasn't, because he was on the American team, which I didn't think he was, because they were all talking about like fucking Brazil or some shit, some South American place, and I'm just like, okay, so why do we care about this red flag? Why is everybody upset about this? This guy's like, whatever, he's on their team or whatever. FIFA decided to change the decision. I wasn't paying attention to all of this stuff. And apparently there's allegations, I don't know whether they're true or not, they may be, that Trump went and had a word with FIFA about it and all that stuff. And it turns out the guy is on the American team, but you'd never know that to look at his name. It was like Falagan Bulorgun. I don't know. It looks like something Serbian. And I'm like, I've never heard of this guy before. I didn't even know he was on the American team, man. He didn't sound American. Just looking at his name. I'm just saying.
I mean, what's an American name, though?
Most of them are based in English.
Dave Smith.
Yes.
Well,
yes, it is.
Here's the thing, and a lot of people are trying to push back on this, but the reality of it is, with the whole colonialism period, a lot of natives took on English names. A lot of slaves took on English names, and those family names are carried on forward through time, just like they were from John Sam's son, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It's just a name now. It's not. I mean, like for instance, if you had a Black Johnson and a White Johnson, they might not necessarily consider themselves a part of the same family, and they're almost certainly not part of the same haplogroup.
Why was the Black Johnson always bigger, though?
Oh, because he worked
always bigger, and we bred them that way. Don't mess with me. Don't mess with me. Do you think those little old ladies were sitting around drinking their tea, not thinking through exactly what opportunities they had before them? Are you joking? What benefit does a large phallus give a slave who's going to be working in the field? Zilch, zero, nada, nothing. In fact, it is a weight on that slave's mind. However, Miss Johnson likes it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But he's right though. I mean, a lot of people, and even with immigrants from other parts of Europe and whatnot, the ones who came through Ellis Island, half of the people who were doing the intake were illiterate to begin with, and you're talking about people who may or may not be on a competent level of like the of English at this point, and so there's going to be misunderstandings and whatnot. So a lot of these names got anglicized one way or the other. Some people chose to do it for their own families to make it easier for them. Some people had it done to them because the clerk couldn't fucking spell, and didn't want to bother to pronounce it, kind of thing. So yeah, a lot
shout
of names
out to American literacy.
So very, very much of the, well, to be fair, a lot of those guys were Irish. Anyway, the average American name tends to be anglicized one way or the other, with a handful of exceptions. There's a fair number of Scandinavian and German names, depending on which part of the northern part of the country you're in.
Stinson.
For example, like my surname is German, and I'm reasonably certain that it's because of the Hessians that didn't go back after the Revolutionary War. So,
like, it's nice here. Fuck that place.
Right?
There's like 5,000 miles of road of open ocean we got to cover. You're getting bit by a rat. Let's just stay here.
Yeah. So, it is what it is. Some of us do have like names from other places, but the vast majority of people, even the native population who've integrated, as Sasquatch was saying, the slaves were often given just new names altogether, first and last.
Twice. Not just twice. Once before they were sold, initially, after they got captured, brought over, sold. And then again, when they were emancipated, they were offered the ability to pick their own surnames and whatnot. So there's a lot of confusion in that 300-year period.
Exactly, Boosh. What's my name? What's your name, boy?
Kunta Kinte.
Fuck,
your name's Toby, boy. Say it. Toby.
Anywho, so I see the name. I'm not even sure what the hell the guy's name was. I'm gonna look it up real quick. Was it Balogun? Something like that? Balogun. Oh yeah, his name was Flinn Balogun. Yeah. Okay. I think he might be Nigerian.
Dying.
No, I guess he's from New York. Well, I mean, I guess that tracks. New York's got some weird shit going on, which is funny because that's actually where most of the name changes historically have happened.
Yeah.
So, well, yes, sir. North of the Mason-Dixon, I do agree with you. That is actually quite true. However,
you might specifically
find few name changes in Charleston, perhaps some Savannah, some St. Augustine. Them names change quite fluidly.
Right? I would like to thank Foghorn Leghorn for being on the panel tonight.
Oh, it's just a little Tulane twang. I ain't offending your delicate sensibilities, am I, sir?
Indeed, sir. Indeed. I better stop because I'm gonna start doing that fucking Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil Savannah Southern Belle bullshit again.
Yes,
you remember that shit?
I do know exactly what it is.
Yes, sir.
So, for context, I hopped onto one of Sasquatch's panels on very little sleep, and there was a bunch of people on there, including.
Oh, why did you do that?
Because it was funny at the time, and I came in.
It was sort of like a self-flagellation type experience.
It was so weird. So I came in, and Sasquatch was doing like funny, voices and all that because he'd been drinking. I was tired enough that I was seeing shit, and I jumped in, and for some reason I don't know what the fuck possessed me, but as soon as he said hello, I launched into this whole gay ass Southern Belle thing, and Dusty he was like, "Yeah, this is too gay for me," and he fucking left. This was a while back, man, but
that man is not secure in his sexualities is all I have to say.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look that up now. God damn it.
Yeah, it's over on Sasquatch's channel. It was one of his panels. Was that like a birthday panel or some shit? Is that why you were so wasted?
Oh dear God, I hope so. If it is, it's probably not available without like special dispensation. You have to call me or some shit.
That's
'Cause
probably.
let me tell you, on my birthday, it's not just a smoke show; it's a full-on roast. You're welcome to exchange shots, but
Holy shit.
experience tells me I'm a little bit more vicious than most. But then
Right.
again, I know what's coming. Most people come in going, "Hi, Sasquatch, how you doing?" I'm like, "Damn, you're short. Your mama dresses you funny, and that whole hair lip thing's not going to do it for me."
Right. I did, old Blondie, hear that there are only 2 Islamic nations left in the World Cup: France and England.
Correct.
Yeah. So maybe Abe will be a Mohammed.
How do you know I'm not already a Muhammad?
I don't. I guess.
There you go. Don't make me go Allahu Akbar on you motherfuckers.
I like how you rolled the R out there at the end. That really sold it.
Y'all ever get me ululating? You've had a rough day. It's going to be a worse night.
Yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough. Anywho, welcome to the show. We recently had our 250th birthday in America as a nation last Saturday. As a matter of fact, we were live. And some stuff came up that I thought was pretty funny. So for those who don't know, especially outside of the States, certain places have outlawed fireworks, sometimes for good reasons, sometimes for authoritarian bullshit. In the case of Southern California, it's mostly authoritarian bullshit. They don't really have a whole lot of like stuff to burn down there besides the grass that they overwater, stealing it from other states. But in some places like where I live, part of the reason that you're not supposed to be doing that isn't so much because they don't believe in celebrating. It's because they'd rather not burn down the entire fucking
They
school.
live in a fucking desert. Stop playing with explosives. Quit it.
It's a tinderbox, if we're being honest. I live in a tinderbox, especially
Nobody
this
cares.
time of year. So
Nobody, look at this. Bring up the thing. Look at this.
yeah. So this was LA County after being told explicitly that all fireworks are outlawed.
Right. It says, fuck your bed, fuck your taxes, fuck your authority.
About 10 minutes, 15 minutes or so. And
When I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know shit burns.
Police departments have been begging people not to do this, but it seems
the bombs
they
are
are
set
not
off.
listening to those calls. Well, they're
LA Fire 3.
Safe and sane are even banned in the majority.
Like, holy shit. Yeah, like, this is every single sparkle out there is illegal. Those are felonious sparkles, ladies and gentlemen. Felonious sparkles.
You know what?
Good on them.
I don't often compliment the people of California, like ever. But this makes me fucking proud.
Yeah.
So wait, perhaps these are signal flares from Republicans trapped behind enemy lines. What do you reckon?
It could be. It could be.
Maybe,
They can't get a hold of a flag to hang it upside down.
Right. Well, every time they do, they just burn it. Like, it's fucked up.
Right?
You know, unless it's a Mexican flag and nobody responds to that one.
Indeed. But no, this was
Welcome in, Zach. Good to see you, bud.
This was a good sight to see. It really was. Spirit of 76 is
I'm gonna
still
mute it.
alive somewhere.
This is not supposed to be happening.
Just let that keep playing because
the revolution never ends.
Yeah, for two reasons. One, it's a display of patriotism in the face of tyranny, which is awesome. And two, fuck LA.
Yeah.
So, you know,
So we got this little tune. It's sort of a theme song, if you will. And in the song itself, it mentions the rocket's red glare and bombs bursting in air.
Yeah.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
And they had the audacity to try and ban this shit.
Bitch, do you know where your T is at
250.
right now?
Come on.
It's floating in the harbor, man.
I'm just saying, you might want to check on your tea before you go talking shit.
Like, you could probably go drink Boston Harbor. You know, it'll be fine. Just scoop it up into a cup. We dumped so much tea in there. That don't actually do that.
I've got
by
no
the way.
problem with it.
that was 200 plus years ago. Don't actually do that because it's going to taste like Bostonian seawater now.
This,
Yeah, more or less.
I mean, yeah, like in the wake of 250, that seems an affront to American freedom. Trying to ban that shit.
Oh, tried to ban it? Yeah. Well, okay, hold on now. Like, I get where you're coming from, but at the same time, the basin that LA is in is one of the driest locations on the eastern seaboard. The only moisture that entire freaking area you just saw with explosions blowing on it gets is fog for like 27 minutes every morning.
Yeah, and even the fog's not that prevalent that far south. You really got to go further north to like San Francisco to get like the real fog.
Yeah, no, you're right, but my point is that was LA. That was the Greater Basin. That is that section of that dried up lake.
Oh, sure.
That's fucking ground zero for any wildfire you want to start.
Oh, in a heartbeat. And they you know, you're also talking about you know, a place where they squandered what water they did have, squabbling over the water rights, and then they started taking it from other fucking states and taking it from farmers in more fertile land to water their fucking lawns, as if that's a necessary thing in a desert.
Yeah, you could skip the lawn. I was planning on skipping the lawn just in general.
Yeah.
So, but at the same time, you know, defiance of authority at the risk of one's own safety, right, is the most American thing ever.
Yeah.
So I got to give it to him for that, and it did do my heart good to see that. So especially with the announcer talking over it the whole time, she was just like, "Gosh, I can't believe these people would go against the government."
Did you see the dead brain tissue playing the piano?
I don't think so.
All right. So this was from Miss Chicklet Teeth, Horseface herself.
God, here we go.
Real Torch.
Oh,
donkey action.
Yeah, I haven't actually checked up on her in a minute because...
Oh, you should. This most recent one. Apparently, they invented necromancy. Allow me to explain. So, they took a slice of human brain from a cadaver, recently dead individual.
Oh, that did pop up in my feed. I just haven't.
Stuck it into a freaking computer full of little micro freaking wires and shit, and utilized this deceased, reanimated brain tissue for computational work in figuring out, get this, how to use a robot arm to play a piano and hear it and recognize what it's doing. And apparently it successfully accomplished all of those tasks. So I give you the literal ghost in the fucking machine.
So I'm curious whose brain tissue they used.
Right?
That might, if you're talking about a dead concert pianist, right? That might not be as conscious as they may claim.
Doesn't matter. I think that's immaterial. If they used a concert pianist to do that shit and it worked, I would be more terrified. A
brain is a
brain. If it was just some random farmer from an archipelago in Southeast Asia.
Yeah. I don't think it matters.
I think it does, because like, look, when you learn how to do anything, it changes the synaptic pathways in your brain, and the information gets stored in the meat one way or the other, right? Which to my mind indicates that if they used a concert pianist brain, it would already have that information in there. So it wouldn't necessarily indicate any kind of conscious recognition of what it's doing, just that the information was already stored in that piece of meat. Whereas a farmer who's never touched a piano in his fucking life, right? They would be more impressive there, because he doesn't have
it depends on if the tissue was cloned or whether it was extracted.
First, we have to determine whether or not it's real at all. God knows how much of this high science floating around out here on the edges of AI structure are actually just complete fucking fabrications for money.
Yeah.
But either way, this is an extension of do you remember that story, Sasquatch, from a couple of years ago, where they took the blood of a deceased musician and then they clone some organelles out of it to do pretty much the same thing. Not so much with the robot arm, but just it just seems like they're taking that a step further in this case. Like, we're not even going to clone this stuff. We're just going to take the original meat.
Fucking make it necromancy.
Yeah. Next
thing you're going to tell me is this bitch is over here flipping through the Necronomicon trying to figure out exactly how to create the skeleton slave unit.
If she can find a legitimate copy of that book, I'd be more impressed. Even in the stories, somewhere, just going fakes. So
Cthulhu, Fatagan, yeah.
But yeah, no, it's
just stop it. He might show up. Then we have to explain ourselves. And if you've ever dealt with an outsider before, it's.
Did you see that meme where somebody put up that there's like the U.S. makes a deal with Cthulhu to help?
Dude, what the fuck ever? Last time he ate a planet.
I'm sitting there and I'm just like, why would you make that deal? That's not going to end well for fucking anybody.
No. What are you going to do? If you don't do it, he just devours the local area of space. And then where are we at? At least with the deal, he's acknowledged you as an extant piece of the, physical universe.
A god of any sort could do whatever they wanted.
Right.
But here's the thing about the Cthulhu beasts.
30 extra seconds.
But they're not gods in the classical sense. They are equivalently powered entities from beyond known god space. Even the gods aren't quite sure what they are or where they came from.
Equivalently, for a given value of equivalently, depending on which one you're talking about. Yogg-Sothoth,
sure, I mean,
is like everything. So,
yeah.
And he's not even listed as the most powerful god. That would be Azathoth. But if you really look at the data, Yogg-Sothoth outclasses even him because he is literally everything. Whereas then you get Cthulhu, who isn't an elder god or an outer god at all. He's an old one, and he's like a high priest of theirs, but he's not on their same fucking level, not even close. In fact, the way you look at this from the perspective of
your ninjas is gay,
right? That's
okay. All right, so I've got a question. This is fixing to get really nerdy.
It is. We got the perspective of an ant, right? Seeing a human stomping around, right? Has a hard time comprehending exactly what it's seeing because they're so far beyond its scale. Now, it'll apply that same perspective exponentially from our perspective to Cthulhu is a similar thing. From his perspective to say, and I'm going to say it here, Shub-Niggurath, and that's a whole word, YouTube. She is as far beyond him as he is beyond us, etc. at all. So like levels of power are scaled in that way. So yeah, like
I hear everything you're saying, my brother. But listen, when it comes to us mere mortals or Sasquatch, as the case may be, it is immaterial the power difference between one outer realm fucking creature and another. Deity, god, outsider, insider, upsider, downsider, uplander. I don't care. They're fucking gigantic.
Yeah, they're very, very big, like space.
Here's my question, right? Your explanation about Cthulhu being a priest of a particular yada, 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 that whole thing. I was sitting around the other day considering liches, right? And it occurred to me, every single one of these assholes out here not only is absorbing like a soul a year or whatever to maintain their lichdom, their phylactery, but also will inevitably outlive whatever purpose they initially became a lich to accomplish. Right? So one of my favorites that I encountered, and I don't know if he pulled it from a module or what, but the lich in question, his purpose was to salvage all knowledge. Right. And so he started as a librarian in some like great Roman empire. And after the empire collapsed, he was still hanging around down there with all his undead minions, still collating data for 10,000 years until the next empire shows up at the gates and is like, undead, kill them all. So homeboy's just chilling, reading this fucking paper when
I
Rome
bet she was
shows up with
jerking it
laser
right
pistols.
now.
Do what?
Say that again.
Bet Shadoo's probably jerking it right now. Just from the mere mention of the Roman Empire.
Yeah, I did say Rome like 4 times in the same paragraph.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gone to completion.
He started round 2.
At least 2 or 3 times, minimum.
Oh man. Yeah. A book of RLM. Welcome in.
RLM.
We
Ireland.
got. I just think it's funny. Also, depending on your definition of necromancy, if you're going from like pop culture and fantasy and like actually raising armies of skeletal undead, that's one thing. But historically, necromancy is just talking to the dead.
But sure, I mean any conveyance of information from the other side unto the living
Right.
would be necromantic.
Like mediums, for example.
That being said, I'm sorry, dude. Bringing a dead brain alive to fucking play a piano. That's fucking necromancy, bro. That's I can't, unless that motherfucker's sitting over there wearing a goddamn robe, being a Bond villain. I'm gonna have to say that's necromancy.
I would agree on that account. Yeah, the idea that we can just play God just willy nilly just cause, that's gonna get us all into a lot of trouble.
Yeah, no. See, okay. All right, so you hear a whole bunch of bullshit about the whole Hollywood, what is it, Moloch or whichever fucking demon they're following this month, right? You hear a bunch of crap about that kind of stuff. But here's the thing. What is a sacrifice when it comes down to it? They've taken a slice of some person's brain and abused it into playing a piano. For what purpose? What do you learn from that? And is it real? That's another huge question. I'm starting to think a lot of the quote unquote academic breakthroughs of recent might be AI hallucinations. Like maybe none of this shit is even happening. They're just
especially given how much that they're relying on AI simulations for this shit now.
God, yes, and they have been for years. Think about it.
Yeah, I mean, a simulation, especially with an unreliable LLM, is not going to tell you much of anything factual.
Well, I wonder if the purpose is to replace things like data centers for something that is biologically more functional.
So
I don't know.
I can't remember which author it was. I think it was Doc E. Smith. In one of the books that they did, and I think it was part of the Lensman series, which is sort of a James Bond spy novel in space travel, interstellar bullshit. Anyway, one of the societies that he had come across was an entire planet of people who had decided that they were more useful as data centers than they were as people. It's literally an entire planet full of like clinically depressed individuals. And these people decided that rather than die, they would become the calculating data center of the galactic empire. They would serve this way. And this was all voluntary, supposedly. I mean, Dr. E. Smith's real rosy glasses kind of future thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think everybody and their dog needs to go back and reread Frankenstein by Mary Shelley and take the right lessons away from it this time.
The modern Prometheus, sir. Yeah. See, people take the wrong. Let's see, they see it and they go, "Oh, with a little thing swangling, we've got a perfect undead slave." No.
The right lesson is, holy shit, he got his whole goddamn family fucking killed for no reason because of his hubris.
And a few other people, and the mill burned down.
Yeah.
I mean,
well,
it was a bad week.
There wasn't the middle in the book, but yeah.
It was the tower, but what the fuck ever. Local structure burns down. Big giant mutant man responsible.
Yeah. But he did frame the maid, and the maid was hanged for the murder of Frankenstein's younger brother.
Fuck.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very good book, by the way. For those of you who haven't read it, it's excellent. It holds up like nobody's business. It's very good.
Yeah.
I've got one for you, and I've been meaning to bring this one up to you for a minute. It's ostensibly a vampire book of sorts, but they're not like normal vampires. You'll have to go through that, figure it out.
Necroscope?
All right, you
No,
look
no, no,
Twilight.
no, no,
We
no.
know you're gay. It's fine.
No, this one's called The Stress of Her Regard.
I've heard
And the
title.
premise behind it largely is time is not what you think it is. Luck has nothing to do with the universe and is not actually lucky. It is an individual spirit's literal lifeblood. When probabilities go out of whack, that individual is closer or farther away. It's just a person. It's some dude out there. And he is the natural embodiment of like probability. It's absurd. The whole book is nuts. But the pertinent part is when you go to these displays at the different museums or whatnot, especially in the old world, and you see these marble statues that are absolute 1-to-1 scale human replicas of people. Some of those statues are not statues. They're old vampires. And after running across the freaking world trying to get away from people trying to kill them, they realized that if they just stood still in a fucking museum, nobody'd fuck with them. It's one of the funniest things I've ever encountered in like off the wall, spiritual or a supernatural kind of thing. Just the night at the museum has a whole other flavor now.
Right. Some of them aren't displays at all.
Yeah, no, see, that was one of the things is the guy who finds out about all of the supernatural stuff. I think he's in Venice, and in the book, this is like 100 years ago. There's some famous museum in Venice. And while he's running away from the fucking werewolves that he stumbled across, right, he runs into the museum and he notices that the werewolves don't chase him in there. And he's got like his uncle's fucking pocket, like his uncle's diary. And every time he gets a chance to stop, he opens the diary, reads a few more pages, and finds out something else that's absolutely horrific, like some horrible thing, like Hitler's a werewolf. It had nothing to do with Jews. It had none of that had anything to do with what they tell you it had to do with. It was literally a meat farming process for humans.
Huh.
You know what?
They were
After
just
hearing that
eating
description,
family, bro.
now I'm okay with Twilight gay vampires.
The Stress of Her Regards, the name of the book, and I think it's part of the series. But the really cool part is the guy who is the embodiment of probability has the worst luck ever. He's never won anything.
Irony.
Well, he's the effect. He doesn't actually experience it. He is it.
Yeah, I might check into that. I'm currently listening to because way work works out. I don't get a lot of time for actually sitting down and reading books, unfortunately. The first of the Necroscope novels by Brian Lumley, which also has an interesting take on vampires because they are undead, but they start out as like alien worm parasites.
Gold.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's a whole thing. Anyway, there's one particular character who is a necromancer, and in what he does is he basically gets information from the dead by rolling around in their innards. It's a whole fucking disgusting process. And the reason he has this ability,
I saw that on The Walking Dead once. Rick did it.
Yeah. But the dead didn't like tell him his whole life story when he did that. In this case, he does. So anyway, this dude named Dragazani is a Romanian dude who's working for the KGB, telling them stuff from like dead spies and that kind of thing. And he goes back home to Romania, where he's been visiting this one spot ever since he was a small boy, where there's a presence entombed in the earth beneath him, that speaks to him and tells him, you know, bring me blood, bring me life, you know, come back when you're stronger so I can make you mine, kind of thing. It's very pedo coded. Anyway, the vampire in question goes on and on and on about how everybody gave young Vlad credit for what he did. All that because he's been imprisoned in the earth for 500 years by his enemies.
Kind of pissed off about it. Probably has to pee like you
Well,
can't.
he's
imagine.
more pissed off, and this makes sense because he's not the only one of his kind. He's more pissed off that none of them came to dig him up. Not one of his compatriots was like, you know, maybe we should go get this guy out of the hole in the ground.
Hey, Sparkles.
I'm only about a third of the way through the book, though, so I don't know how it plays out long term. And there's some weird shit.
Come on, bro. You know.
I mean, there's like 7 of these books, so no, I don't. So it's something I've been meaning to get around to for a while, though, because it's you know, sort of Lumley was part of the second Cthulhu circle, Lovecraft circle. You know, after Lovecraft and Derleth and all those guys passed away, you know, in the 70s, there was a bunch of new authors who started down that sort of thing. So I just kind of was like, I should probably check
the
out
new
what he
authors
actually
were
wrote.
happier people in general, right? You got Asimov and Arthur C. Clarke and freaking Orson Scott Card. All of these people had this one thing that ran through all of their work. Whatever problems humans may encounter, science will surpass. That was just writ large.
Sure. You know, it just occurred to me. I never thought about this before. I don't know why. Lovecraft was publishing contemporaneously with when Tolkien was building his world. They were doing their writing,
and they are sort of mirror darkly one another.
Kind of
the amount of deep lore that Tolkien rolled into that whole thing on a limited amount of words is similar to the amount of deep lore that was woven into the H.P. Lovecraft works.
Yeah, the Tolkien put structure to it.
Well, the chaos of deep lore in Cthulhu doesn't exactly offer itself structure.
No. And also, both of them probably would have absolutely hated the other's stuff. They notoriously didn't really care much for other authors' works. Either one of them.
Mm-hmm.
I think Lovecraft would have been like, you know what? There's not enough hatred of air conditioning in this Middle Earth thing. So, anyway, that's a bit of a tangent.
We're gonna have to be a werewolf if I couldn't not just die like a normal person.
I mean, you kind of look a little bit like Wolfman Jack as it is.
I have been looking for a salon for 4 days, sir. I'm going to get this done. I swear to God, but I want it done professionally. So it's happening as soon Monday. As soon as it opens, I'm going down here and get that Asian chick. Did I tell you about the Asian chick who wouldn't trim my beard?
I think you did, but I think it was a.
You look like bare insides. No, take beard fine. Trim.
Yeah.
All done.
Yeah. No, you did tell us about that. That's right. I was thinking.
Well, there's another chick that works there, and she's gonna trim my beard. I already said so.
Yeah, not that other one. Not that one.
Sometimes you don't have to choose between werewolf or vampire.
Yeah, well, Abe's right. In the old lore, if a werewolf died still cursed, they were often resurrected as a vampire.
Uh-huh.
So you end up being both. Witches, too. Same thing would happen to witches. It has to do with damnation.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. In the movies, though, I mean, like, I don't know. This is one of the reasons that I get weird about shit like Twilight. It isn't just because it's gay and because it's dumb and because it's targeting teenage girls. Actually, that part is the part that creeps me the fuck out the most because it's essentially the story of an underage girl who's choosing between banging a corpse or a dog.
Dude, Bella Swan is the scariest character
You're correct. Bella Swan's the arch nemesis in that whole show. Like the whole thing. Dude, think about it.
What's up, Lepo?
This is the equivalent. This is the literary equivalent of the white woman taking a selfie with a bear.
Mm-hmm.
And the bear lets her do it.
And then the bear lets her do other things.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the bear slaps around her dead boyfriend a little bit.
Yeah. It was all part of the plan.
And the dead boyfriend
trip barber
lets her do other things too. It's not sparkle in the sun. That's just the decomposition of the outer tissues.
Right.
I don't know. Everything about that shit has always kind of bothered me a little bit. I've never cared for Twilight. Look, there's been a progression of pop culture tropes since, I mean, I would go so far back as to say since Bram Stoker in 1895. Probably before then, because if you look at like Lenore by Poe or Varney the Vampire or, any of those kind of deals, then yeah, there's kind of the seeds of it there. But I think really it begins with Bram Stoker, who presents his count as a very debonair, very well-dressed, very well-spoken, well-mannered nobleman, right? Attractive to all who meet him, even Jonathan Harker, until he finds out what he is, and then his brain breaks. That's where it began, and it only got worse since. Bela Lugosi's performance just kind of solidified that in the 1930s. And then Anne Rice shows up in the 1970s, right? And she builds on that. She didn't, I can't blame all this on Anne Rice. She took what was already there and she took it further, but she didn't start this shit. She just kind of made it pop again. And because at that point we were seeing a bunch of Christopher Lee movies where he was dressed like a nobleman, but he was also drenched in blood the whole time.
You misunderstand. She did vampires in New Orleans. That's all she did.
Yeah. And I mean, she did kind of make him like gayer and Frencher, but
I'm not sure, bro. Like they were pretty gay and French to start with. Well, they were gay.
Pretty much.
But what Stephanie Meyer did was she took what Anne Rice did and she turned it into something for teenagers. If you go back and you read Anne Rice's books, those are not for kids, not for teenagers. They're not young adult novels. They're very, very adult, and in some cases borderline pornographic. Right. They're also clearly horror novels. There are horrifying things that happen in them.
You ever read The Mummy?
Yeah, Ramses the Damned. Yeah,
Anne Rice's Mummy, Ramses the Damned. Yeah.
I
don't understand why there's not more versions of that style of heroic character. I don't get it.
Kind of agree.
It's a brilliant idea. I love it.
I think that's the weird thing. Some of her books that didn't have anything they all take place in the same world, but some of the characters she created that didn't have anything to do with like the vampires or the Mayfair witches or whatever were actually really fucking solid.
There's one reference of the Mayfairs and the vampires becoming aware of Ramses, right? And it is during one of Lestat's burnouts when he goes insane and kind of feral and just starts like crawling through the fucking cities, murdering folks for a little while. He goes to Cairo and he like balls into this one freaking bar that's in some deep, dark, internal dive in the middle of Cairo somewhere that he didn't even know it was there, and he's been living there for 90 years, right? He busts into it, and standing in front of him is the one guy in the room that he can't look at directly. He's literally glowing with help, and Lestat's response was to basically bounce off of that room and attack the next room over. And it never goes into what Ramses' response was. But if that wasn't Ramses, I would like an explanation because the time period lines up and the location lines up.
It probably was. It was probably an intentional thing.
In Ramses the Damned, there's a scene where one of the old spirits comes to him and it like scares the shit out of everybody in the bar. I think those were a lineup of the same event as depicted from both sides.
Yeah, there's one other mention that I can point out where Ramses and the vampires get mentioned in as in a company of immortals, and that's in Servant of the Bones, which is about that immortal dude from the Mesopotamian period who basically just he's kind of like a very, very solid genie. You know, he
Yeah.
gets summoned, he does the thing, and then he goes back to sleep and all that. And at some point, he hears tell of Ramses by name. And at some point, he hears tell of Lestat by name, right? But he never. But he also says, "Yeah, I've heard of these guys, but I've never met any of them." So,
And
but
I mean,
they are
and
mentioned.
then there's a few others out there. There's the literal queen.
I think Servant of the Bones also mentions Memnoch,
Doc,
who is
right.
who claims at least to be Satan.
Well, he's an ancient evil.
Yeah.
He has basically cloned his existence onto the identity of what would later become Satan.
Mm-hmm.
He's as good a client as any for that particular moniker.
And I'll be honest, man, like one of the best books that she wrote was Memnoch the Devil, the one where Memnoch takes Lestat basically on Dante's journey.
Yeah. But I kind of had an issue with that one. I couldn't get through it, bro. Part of it, all right, so I was about 3/4 of the way through it when I got my head injury. And then while I did the whole hospital and recovery thing, I lost the book. I couldn't find it. And then when I got back to it, I couldn't pick up where I left off, if you get what I'm saying. And I couldn't read my way back through it again.
Yeah, I don't know. I enjoyed that one. Do you mind if I spoil the ending? All right. So Memnoch takes Lestat to heaven, to hell, to limbo, to all of these places, and he's like basically just doing all this stuff and just exposing him to the wider world beyond even the immortality that he already knows, right? And he's saying like, look, you're still just a little fish in a big fucking pond. And at the end, Lestat's like, why did you show me all this? Memnoch's like, because I could. Well, I'm just going to tell everybody. He's like, yeah, you can tell him all you want, but you won't have eyes to do it with. And he fucking pulls his eyes out of his skull and leaves him chained up, screaming in a fucking dungeon.
As one does.
We've all been there.
It's the end of the book. Lestat has no eyes, and he is chained up in the devil's dungeon.
Yeah, and there is a caveat to that out there at that point. There's this one cunt out there who really likes Lestat. And eventually she's going to notice he's not there anymore. And when she does, she's coming to come talk to you, bro. Right? Memnoch's going to have to fucking answer for some shit. Yeah, he might be the devil himself, but this is like literally Lilith. She is coming for you, bro. She's going to be real upset that you've done this thing with her boy toy.
Yeah. Oh, was Arden saying Joss Whedon threw shade at Memnoch the Devil via Spike and Buffy the Vampire Slayer. If every vampire said he was at the crucifixion was actually there, it wouldn't have been like, or it would have been like Woodstock. I mean, yeah, that was a funny fucking line, and he's not wrong.
Yeah,
it's like, so, but yeah, no, there, that was a whole thing. Anyway, long story short. Bram Stoker kind of is responsible indirectly and kind of directly for Twihards. Full stop. They're his fault.
Dude, I mean, I kind of blame capitalism at that point.
I mean, sure, I guess. I'm just saying he didn't have to make it sexy.
They bought it. But then again, you can make the same argument with 50 Shades of Grey. Well, they fucking bought it, bro.
Right.
Yeah.
Arden, I would agree with you, except that Byron never achieved the same level of popularity that Dracula did. You know, Byron's poems were more or less passed around by academics until much, much later. And even then, like, you know, most of the people who've heard of him are nerds who don't go out much. Yeah, Lord Byron, that is. And he wrote some weird shit too, actually. So you're right about that. But anywho,
Wasn't it a challenge?
Yeah, it was
Frankenstein
Lord
was.
Byron and Mary Shelley
And her husband, Percy
what's
Bysshe
his
Shelley.
fuck, Percy
Yeah.
Shelby,
Shelley, it was her husband.
right?
So
Yeah.
with the space
Her maiden
of a
name is
couple of days,
Wollstonecraft.
you know,
And more or less, he created two solid fantasy figures that would extend out from their creation, right?
yeah.
Yeah, that was there were a handful of other
Frankenstein and
people
his
there.
monster.
There were a handful of other people there, but that story's mostly recounted when it comes to the genesis of Frankenstein rather than anything else that was produced that night. So, but yeah, she was a 16-year-old girl too, came up with that.
Oh, really?
Yep. Freshly married. It was
They
a
were
short
literally doing their honeymoon tour. That was and the only reason they stopped and posted up is because this tour happened to happen during one of the coldest periods in that time period.
Mhm.
They holed up at a cabin somewhere where they were warm and was like, you know what, fuck the traveling part, we'll wait till spring. And to pass the time, the challenge of each writing a supernatural thriller, essentially, which that didn't exist at the time, but apparently they had an idea.
The concept
goddamn
was
nice young though.
Yeah, well, the concept was the same as like campfire stories, essentially, except with people who were trained writers and people who were related to trained writers. Because if you recall, Shelley's parents were both writers as well. You know, so yeah, it was. They were essentially just trying to. They're like, hey, let's see who can come up with the scariest story, essentially. And she did, and she won. And then later, her husband helped her flesh it out into a full-on novel, which was published when she was 18 or 19, I think, in the original form. And then they did a revised edition several years later because this was about the time that the upper crust was starting to turn away from the idea of marrying their cousins. So they rewrote the bit where Victor and Elizabeth are actually, in fact, cousins. They like changed how that is. She's no longer a cousin. She's a sort of semi-adopted friend of the family who's in no way a blood relation. But initially, in the first publication, she was his blood relation. So,
Lady Claire Claremont.
Indeed. But otherwise, it's stayed more or less the same since then. Hasn't had too many rewrites. What's up, Devil?
So, Devil?
What's up? Sorry, I'm late, guys.
You're just in time. You're just in time for the next thing, which is, I think going to be right up your alley.
Boy.
Given what
It's a
y'all were up to
penis.
last night, right? Something to wash down that dry ass biscuit with.
Yeah.
So this is a post from Science Girl. It says, scientists discovered one of the most nutrient-dense substances in nature inside an unlikely source, and it is the cockroach. The species, Dilopetra punctata, is unusual because it gives birth to live young instead of laying eggs. During development, the embryos are fed a nutrient-rich, milk-like fluid inside the mother's body. That fluid forms tiny protein crystals in the embryo's stomachs. When researchers analyzed the crystals, they found a highly concentrated mix of proteins, fats, sugars, and all 9 essential amino acids required for the human diet. The crystals also appear to release energy slowly during digestion, providing a steady supply of nutrients as the embryos grow. The discovery attracted attention after some reports suggested the substance could be made more calorie dense than mammalian milk, including human breast milk, but scientists have not shown that it offers special health benefits for humans, and harvesting on a large scale would be extremely impractical. Researchers remain interested in the finding because it demonstrates how evolution can produce unexpected biological adaptations, even in one of the world's most disliked insects. Inside this tiny cockroach species, nature developed microscopic nutrient crystals capable of sustaining life during one of the most demanding stages of development. Ew. Eat the boogs.
You will drink the bugs. and be happy.
If I'm ever stuck on like a mountain, I'll suck a bug's ass to survive. I guess.
Look, here's the
I
thing.
do
They're
wonder what
right.
it tastes like.
This isn't. It's not in no way practical to harm. To harness this sort of thing on a mass scale. There just aren't enough cockroaches, and they don't produce enough to be of any significant value.
But sir, you misunderstand what age of history we live in. This isn't the 1800s. We're not breeding milking roaches around here, sir. We're making monstrous horrors. We're going to have a roach 75 segments long with 300 tits. You're going to punch it, the crystal will pop out like one of the coins from Mario.
First of all, if your cockroach has tits, that's a whole separate issue.
Look, I don't want to know how to milk a crystal.
Sounds like a vagabond kink.
Kind of does. A little bit.
All right. We're gonna make our own enemies out of Starship Troopers. Holy shit!
That is actually one of the theories with Starship Troopers, is that there never was a bug invasion. It was all a psyop specifically to drive humans farther into the nether regions of the galaxy. There had been a hesitation in colonization, and it was decided that a good enemy would be excellent. And so they created the bug lineages and seeded them on a planet that humans could never use anyway.
And then they dropped an asteroid on Buenos Aires.
And then they hit Buenos Aires and a couple of starships in the distance.
Just the authoritarianism up there.
Liberty was born.
Yep. The USS Liberty. Anyway,
we're fixing to go off the deep end, kids. You got your waders on, get your wellies.
Yeah. Now, I don't know, though. I mean, I don't understand why everybody, look, there is good protein in insects. There is. However, they also come with this stuff called chitin that not only can we not digest, but slashes the insides of our fucking stomach lining up.
There's a non-zero number of cockroaches that you can have in peanut butter.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
There's a non-zero number of human fingertips that you can have in a McDonald's hamburger.
So not quite 100% beef.
Long as that number's not over 20, I'm in.
I think it's slightly higher, in fact, than the amount of rat shit that's allowed.
It's called flavor.
Yeah, what's a little digits between friends?
So, yeah, it is what it is, man. I mean, it's like it's not all meat, and what meat there is not guaranteed to come from a domesticated animal.
Gotta bust those fingers, son.
Or as Terry Pratchett liked to put it so often, even named parts of a domestic animal.
Right.
So,
what was his name? Dick Diggler?
Dick Diggler?
No. It was.
are you talking about Douglas Adams?
Dibbler.
Yeah. Because Dirk Diggler is a Douglas Adams character.
Yeah. That's totally different thing. Yeah.
Yeah, you're talking about Cut Me On Throat Dibbler.
Cut me on throat. I was sitting there going through crap in my head, and I was like, "Oh my god!" It's like, it's some stupid freaking name that makes no sense. But he's a shyster. He's
It does
con
make
man.
sense in context with how he operates. Like,
yes,
Cut Me On Throat.
he undersells himself to such an extent that he might as well be cutting his own throat on the deal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, it's which is funny because I just recently reread Night Watch a couple of months ago, and first of all, one of the best books Pratchett ever wrote in that series ever. It's excellent. But there's some time travel, some wonky time travel shit that is involved, and you meet a very, very young Dibbler first starting out on his journey of entrepreneurship, and you get to see where he comes up with that idea, which was from future Vimes pretending to be a guy in the past.
Bro, I hate this next story. I hate it.
Yeah, yeah, I kind of do too. But it happened this
Yeah.
week. A lot of like a lot of weird shit happened this week. Like the quote in this week's description is, "This has been a crazy day, a crazy week, a crazy world" from Alex Finn. And I chose that one specifically because of this fucking story, which we don't have enough information on, by the way.
Yeah, this sounds AI generated.
Oh, this is the
Man cut
guy
off
who
his own dick.
cut his dick off. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's real. It happened. This guy cuts his own dick off and set it on fire, and then was arrested for arson because where he set it on fire was in his neighbor's house, his neighbor's garage.
And look how unbodied he
Hi,
is.
team.
I don't know a lot beyond that. I have heard that the neighbor was in fact his mother, and there was some kind of dispute there, and he just lost his shit and fucking mutilated himself, and then tried to set fire to her house using his
Hold
penis
on.
as an accelerant.
Who has a dispute with their own mother about their own dick?
I
Has
don't
to
know
be
that
some
it was
deep
about
shit
the
to that.
dick. I think this was some like fucking, Gen Z flip out fucking, I'm going to throw a
This was
tantrum and
about
self-harmful
meth.
shit.
I swear to God, meth is involved in this. There is no way this isn't
this
associated with meth.
screams meth to me.
I don't know. You could get that same look in your eye when you slice off your own penis, I imagine.
Yeah, when you're on
That's-
meth.
Honestly,
That's a face of regret. Yeah.
No. Like Andy torched it,
seen
so it's not
some
like they could sew
things.
it back on.
Yeah. Looks like a little
Good
burnt
Lord.
matchstick.
Like that one
See?
that one hot dog you left on the grill too long.
See,
Look.
what people don't realize is he got a bigger, blacker penis sewed back on.
Yeah.
What's up, Fatima Spazuzu? See, here's the thing. Don't say that name 3 times because he might show up.
Wait, hold on. Isn't Fatima like a whole saintly thing? And
There's some double entendre going on here.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what a Sepazuzu is.
I know what a
But
Pazuzu
Pazuzu is a whole
Or
other
rather-
ball game.
or rather who a Pazuzu is. Anywho, yeah. I think the takeaway here, though, right? Because this isn't the first time some lunatic has set themselves on fire in one form or another in the last couple of years. Usually, it's as a form of protest. I've even forgotten the guy's name. That military officer who did it.
We've got a participation trophy winner, people.
Yeah,
FL was Flern. Is that Flern? Flern.
sure.
Talk about a dick move.
Right.
Participation trophy for you, sir. Congratulations.
Oh, that's underscore. Underscore is he's talk about it. That's
Yeah,
good. That's
I
good.
still don't know if this story is
Here's the thing.
actually true.
The actual takeaway here is why are penises so flammable?
Well, he supposedly just coated in some shit.
Doused it
And
with
then set it
gasoline
alight.
and set it on fire in their neighbor's garage.
Yeah.
But as you
Who
would,
the fuck does that?
this guy right here, that dude with the haunted look, that's who does that.
Yeah.
Well, next time
Nope.
she'll
This
think
is
twice about.
this is all over fucking everything. The dude has certainly been charged in Fort
Next
Wayne,
time
Indiana.
She'll think twice about canceling his World of Warcraft account.
Yeah. Is that why we call gay men flamers?
Trying to play my Minecraft, Mom.
Yeah.
We're doing the next one. You want to just jump into the next
we
one?
can just jump into the next one. I'm looking
What
it
is
up
this
here, but yeah,
bullshit?
this
What is
did
this
happen.
bullshit?
This is the latest drop in the quote unquote UFO files from our esteemed leaders. And
Okay.
A
already
Rorschach test in the
fake
sky.
as
What
fuck.
the hell's it supposed to be?
Straight fucking from the lizard people, right?
Yeah. Well, I think it's fake as fuck personally, but
These are balloons.
Yeah,
They're
'cause
balloons.
look at that thing. There's no way that thing's going to be aerodynamic enough to fucking sail through the atmosphere.
Mm.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Why are there balloons up there? Don't know.
It could be balloons. It could be balloons. It could be one of those. It kind of looks like one of those pigs that Pink Floyd used to have that got away.
Yeah,
from them.
yeah. I was just thinking about one of those inflatable fucking, like like a bounce house.
Yeah,
Right?
this shit doesn't seem real.
So, and this is the problem that I'm having with
Pigs
this. Is like a
in
lot of the UFO
space.
shit that has been dropped by the U.S. government as part of their quote unquote transparency, right, has been proven to be false or to be something else. I think even one or two of the things that they shared out was like, no, that's from a fucking video game, like from like 20 years ago, man.
Yeah.
You know, like they're not giving us any actual information if they have any at this point. And I'm not convinced that they do at this juncture, because this is like, what the fuck is it? That doesn't prove anything. That doesn't. And these days, even without AI, you can fake things very fucking well with an iPhone and a GoPro.
One of the greatest fakes in all of history was a firmly avowed photograph of a VW hubcap being thrown like a frisbee. It was repeated in thousands of papers. They showed it all over the world. Final proof, yada yada, and it was actually done by some old dude with a camera and a kid, and they literally stole their neighbor's hubcap to do the shot. The kid snuck over and took the hubcap because it looked perfect for a flying saucer. And I can't remember the name of the case, but you can look it up. It's out there.
Yeah, because even from other worlds and shit, there has to be a practicality to what they're building, just like how we do, right? What would be the practicality of making a ship that looks like a Funko Pop of a fucking pig creature? It just makes no fucking sense. Like to
maybe
the
somebody was a
way of a ship.
really big fan of Bebop.
Yeah, there
maybe
you go.
Rocksteady.
Ninja Turtles. Yeah. It kind of looks like Bebop's sort of like skull fucking Rocksteady, actually.
Mute
if you tilt your head.
Fucking children used to produce things like this in the 60s.
All right.
I still say it's a bunch of balloons.
It could be. It could very well be.
It's bullshit.
Somebody trapped the.
That's why we're bringing it up, though, is because it's not because like, oh my God, look at the new awesome thing that they dropped. It's like, no, look at the fucking bullshit wool they're trying to pull over our fucking eyes, man.
This is a fart trapped in a fucking black trash bag and let loose. That's all it is. Floating away.
I mean, you have to be a lot of fart to fill up a trash bag, but all right.
No, I did this earlier today. Where are you talking about?
So, and I don't know about you.
I turn my camera on,
but my farts are dense and heavy. They sink. They don't float.
Is it like
Oh, that's called shitting yourself.
more broccoli? More broccoli.
I shit neutron stars, man. The farts are heavy too.
No, hold on, Aaron Laura. Are you saying Jesus? Like Jesus? Are they talking about this, or Jesus? Like that's a big fart.
Yes.
Yeah, that too. I think like Dash is correct. They just took every video they got from randos in a tip line for decades and threw them in a file and said, here you go.
And they're drip feeding them back out because most of this stuff was released by those weirdos before it ever went to the government. So most of this stuff is already out there. It's just been debunked and people haven't looked at it in 30 years.
Look, and tinfoil hat time, I'm not really afraid to say that I think that that there probably is some information that they have. I am saying that they're not giving it to us. And they're not going to.
Yeah.
If it does in fact exist, they're never going to fucking disclose this shit to the public unless they are absolutely forced to. And the only way that happens is if the pig balloon lands and fucking the Asgard come out of it.
Right.
If everybody.
Yep.
You know?
Very much.
It's the only way they're going to be forced to do it. And there's no power on this earth that will force them to reveal any if there is any truth to any of this stuff. So, and I was excited too. Fucking A.
Are you ready for this?
I don't recall what this is, so we'll find out.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
This is from last night's Beelzebub.
Damn it.
And we can thank a serious man put this together. He's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I like eating Mike Tyson's ass.
I would try a bite just so I could, solely for fucking like curiosity, but in no way is that appealing.
I would eat it,
For him.
but not in one setting though. I'd probably have to like piece by piece.
There's no way you'd be able to taste all different flavors. It'd just be a must.
Okay, if the imagine if it wasn't that big. You just
You guys are dirty boys tonight.
I like eating Mike Tyson's ass.
I would try a bite just so I could, solely for fucking like curiosity, but
All right, wait. Are we talking about Evander Holyfield's ear here? Like, you want a piece?
no, this is from two different conversations. He's just the evil man who clips shit together.
Hey, devil. Get it in your mouth.
I just wanted to share this with
I don't
everybody
care,
again,
just as long as you
it's funny.
swallow.
Right?
Jesus.
Oh, kind of freaky shit, dude. I mean, all kinds. It gets bad sometimes. Sometimes even I want out. You know, the things I've seen. You've not seen the things I've seen.
Yeah.
Sam's a tempest.
Things I've
I
seen,
have to
things
go
I've
walk my
done.
moose. I'll be back.
You know, there's
Cool.
probably a better way to phrase that where it's clear that he's walking a dog.
Mm.
I have to go release my moose. So,
He's getting his back blown out.
indeed. So yeah, look. I kind of miss those kind of stitches, those kind of memes and stuff. We don't see too many of them anymore on our side of the internet. At least not involving us. You know, or in this case, you and Vagabond specifically. You know, but time was we used to see quite a bit of those. This is a nice bit of a throwback there.
Yeah.
You know,
Like I said,
Reminded-
it's funny. It's
reminded me of that time that you were talking about getting railed on the Senate room floor, and
Yeah, we don't need to bring that up, Sam.
you went and had Kenzo make a fucking meme out of that shit. with
I didn't
animation
have
and
Kenzo do shit. Kenzo did that because he's an evil bastard.
everything. It was really fucking funny. So unfortunately, folks, I don't have it here to show you, or I would, but it's very, very funny.
Can I show stuff from my account? Since no.
You should
it's-
be able
it's
to
your
upload
account.
it if you've got it available.
Yeah, I can try.
Well, you got full power. So
You
should
can
be
share
able
it
to-
and then we can rig it up.
Well, yeah, I'm just
but I
saying
gotta
that
go
he
over to
should-
mine.
he should be able to drag and drop it into the video clip section on StreamYard too, if he's got it available. The actual video, not like the file.
Let me see.
So, but either way, yeah, you should be able to, or you know, that'd probably be the most efficient way of doing it, considering that both your and my internet is terrible for playing stuff, and the one guy on here that I rely on to do that is off with his moose out. You know, that doesn't really work as the entendre that I meant it to. Sorry, folks. I'm thinking about it. And I was like, no, that just sounds dumb.
I can do it if needs be.
Well, I can't. It's not available. Shit.
Oh, fair enough. I should have saved that to my hard drive a while back. I've got some questionable shit on there. You know, I got this video that Amira made me private like years ago. This short video where she goes on this like insane rant about midgets and peanut butter and green blood. It's
Did
very
you peanut
funny.
butter and green blood?
Okay.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. You know what?
Name of her autobiography?
No, because if it was, it involved sheep butts.
Sorry, how are those things related?
They're not. It was a very weird rant that she went on like years ago on Abyssal Musings, and I clipped it out because it was funny and unhinged, and I still have it. On my hard drive saved just for a rainy day or whatever. But and it's still on the channel too. It's just been privated because she screamed at me about it. So, but yeah, this all kinds of fun shit. I mean, hell, I used to get more memes laid out on my face. Aaron Laura's laughing her ass off in the chat. You know what she did one time over on Amir's channel, right? I said a thing on a panel, and Aaron goes and takes it completely out of context and splices it in with a bunch of other shit to make it look like I'm stalking and murdering my friend. It was very funny, but it was all out
Makes
of
it
context.
look like I'm.
Yeah. And all I was saying was
covering your ass.
Things sometimes escalate out of control. Like, one day you're doing a thing, and the next thing you know, you got 8 corpses buried behind your shed.
Look, it happens.
Right? You don't know how you got
We've
there.
all been there.
Yeah, it was pretty funny too. A shit a man will do for a bag of sprinkles. You goddamn right. You goddamn right, buddy. Oh man, good times, good times. I don't know. The whole world's gone to hell in a handbasket. I insist on having some fun on the way down. Essentially, is what we do here. What we're doing.
Did you guys talk about them cutting down all those cameras?
We didn't. I don't think they're going to make any dent.
The flock ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's a noble idea that's ultimately futile because Flock is funded by Peter Thiel. He has the funds to just kind of replace them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm hoping it becomes like this thing where they just start cutting them down so damn much that maybe some politician decides to, hey, let's actually pause on this and actually see if these people have a fair criticism of mass surveillance on your
The only way
citizens.
that happens is if you get politicians that actually give a shit what their constituents think.
There'll be
We
one
had a similar
who'll
thing
take
in
the
London.
jump just because he'll think it'll benefit him. But like I said, it's still something better than them just sweeping over the damn nation and photographing us every chance they get so they can show up at your house and tell you, oh, we saw you look at your phone for half a second. Here's your ticket.
Yeah. They started putting these surveillance cameras everywhere all over London. And people just started cutting them down.
Hey, darling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and London is probably the single most CCTV'd city in the world.
Yeah.
There's cameras literally everywhere, and they are all tied into the state surveillance network. Like even security cameras from ATMs are tied to the state surveillance network, and not so much just there to prevent people from robbing the ATMs, right? And we have that kind of. We don't have it on the same scale that y'all do, but we do have a lot of cameras in a lot of places. The difference is that in most cases, privately owned cameras, the government has to get a court order and a subpoena in order to access that footage. Right? They can't just come in and demand that you give it to them. Now, they come in, they ask, and the person who owns the footage is like, sure, whatever. Like they can do it that way, but generally speaking, they're required to go through certain legal hoops before they can just pull up any footage, whatever. The Flock cameras fly in the fucking face of that. And the other problem with the Flock cameras is not only are they creating kind of a universally applicable surveillance state, that information that they transmit doesn't just go to the authorities, which is bad enough. It also goes to the private company who then collates and stores that data for later reference and use. Whatever that may be. But I do know that Peter Thiel himself is obsessed with the Antichrist and the end of the fucking world. And that can't be a good thing.
Yeah. Not a great idea.
Right.
They have a problem with the Antichrist. I mean,
Sure. Yeah, just saying, he's there to ruin everybody's day. You know, and I don't even necessarily believe in an antichrist, but Teal does. And like a lot of people who are real into shit like that, right? This is the problem that I've been having with a lot of the Abrahamics, right? In general, is I said Abrahamics, it's not Abe's. It's a different thing. I'm referring specifically to the major religions that came out of the Middle East, specifically the major ones. I'm not talking about Baha'i because they're kind of a joke and everybody knows.
Abe eating ham by a crick. Is what I heard.
It's just something like that. Anywho, Christianity and Islam in particular, and Judaism to a certain extent, are all obsessed with messianic prophecies involving the end of the world, to the point where evangelical Christians and fundamentalist Muslims and, you know, dare I say it, Zionist Jews go out of their way to attempt to make these things happen. Now, here's the thing about prophecy. If it is in fact a true thing, if prophecy is real, it's going to happen no matter what you fucking do. If it is in fact real, you don't have to force it, right?
Yeah. You shouldn't have to go out of your way to make it happen.
I don't think that these guys like Lindsey, people like, maybe not Lindsey Graham, but, you know, Lindsey Graham, I think, just like killing people, if I'm being honest. You know, but people like that, you know, who go around saying, oh, we must do this, we must get involved in this, we must do this, because they want to accelerate the end of basically everybody, whether we're believers or not. Fuck you for that, by the way. Right? This ain't my fucking problem. It's not my prophecy. It's not my goddamn war. But the rest of the entire world has to burn alongside you assholes to make your fucking Messiah show up? Kiss my ass. You know, and I'm not just talking to Christians here. I'm also talking to the you know, the mullahs. I'm talking to the Jewish elitists. And again, not every single person who believes in these things is pushing for this sort of thing, but a lot of the ones in power fucking are.
Look, there's a difference between the descendants of the kingdom of Judah and the kingdom of Israel. They aren't the same thing.
Yeah. I would agree. But I'm not going after Jews specifically. I'm just saying that all three of the major Islamic religions have different means of going about doing it, but they're all trying to force the end of the fucking world to conform to their prophecies. And in order to do that, they've got to make it so that a lot of people suffer and fucking die who maybe had nothing to do with it in the first place.
Don't you kind of wish? Yeah. Don't you kind of wish the Sam would do like a freaking wrestling promo type thing, going after the religions? Like, right? Like, Jew, what you gonna do?
Yeah, like Macho Man Randy Savage.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Rise to the crop.
Oh yeah.
Did you ever? We've talked about this on a channel before because it's fucking hilarious. Did you guys ever play that Skyrim mod where it turned the black drag all the dragons into Randy Savage, and instead of like saying their Fusto Raw shit when they breathe fire, they were like, oh yeah, and this fireball
video.
And when they were coming from a distance, you didn't hear a roar. You just be like, Macho Man's a coming. Macho Man's coming to get you. Oh yeah. It's the greatest thing ever.
Oh yeah.
Shut up.
Somebody
now what,
in a bitter mood after
my throat up pretty good. Oh, that fucking wall is pretty good. Sorry about that, folks. Anywho, that was my religious psycho rant for the day. All right. I don't believe that all religion is psychotic. I don't believe all believers are psychotic. Don't get it twisted. I just think that there are some factions in each of them that are seeking to harm everybody else because they think it makes them special, and that's fucking retarded. So, it is what it is. Anywho, so we got this thing that I wasn't sure we were going to get to, whatever. But I think we can probably do that because it's relatively lighthearted, relatively. It is pretty funny. If y'all are unfamiliar with Solid JJ on YouTube, if you like comic books and really funny, even sometimes unhinged jokes, is a great place to go.
Just Ardent's comment there.
Snap into a Slim
They
Jim.
sent 4 horsemen, and I gave them the 5 knuckles special, brother.
Right. Right. So anywho, Solid JJ put this video out this morning, and we are going to have to do like the whole fair use thing with it.
Solid. Oh shit!
Because it's about 3 minutes or whatever. But I think it's good. I think y'all will enjoy this.
I love his channel. It's a great channel.
Here today to talk about his brand new movie is the one and only Spider-Man. Spider-Man, thank you for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me on.
All right, so we have a few questions about the movie we'd like to ask, if you don't mind.
Not at all, just no spoilers.
Of course. All right. So, Spider-Man, where were you on 9/11?
Look, this is a fair point, and I think he actually shows the footage. There was a scene in the original Tobey Maguire Spider-Man that got cut, that was in the promo that got cut because it happened. It was being promoted around the time of 9/11, where he stopped
was one of the
helicopter
promotional
full
posters.
of bank robbers by webbing them up between the Twin Towers.
Yeah.
And then when the movie, was being promoted, they couldn't do that anymore because the Twin Towers weren't there anymore.
You know what? That's kind of fucked up because you put them between the between the towers. How the hell are they going to get them down in the time before those webs dissolve? His webs have a certain elasticity and a set time before they start to dissolve. That's why there's not webs just hanging all around the city from years of him swinging. So he puts them up there. Those webs start to degrade. How the hell are they going to get a crane or whatever, a copter up there and go down and latch them up and get them the hell out of there before those webs degrade and they just fall down like freaking...
They're not.
80
the
stories.
whole point is for the city to be aware when they die.
It's all bodies just come falling out of the sky and they're all, oh, Spider-Man, you jokester.
Imagine the guilt that Spider-Man should have felt when he webbed between the 2 Twin Towers and then they fell.
Yeah.
But his webs decayed.
Here's the thing. I don't think that Sam Raimi was thinking about that at the time so much as he was the rule of cool.
Yeah.
It looked cool. That was it. That was the whole reason it was in there. And because at the time when they were filming this and promoting this, the Twin Towers were an iconic landmark of New York.
I mean, there's definitely people I like to whip up between a high rise and let fall to their death, just not bank robbers. I mean,
we're gonna go down that road again. Where
let's do this instead.
Right.
Let's just carry on.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I don't know if it came through correctly.
Well, that's all right. Let me ask you again. Where were you on 9/11?
That's your question.
Well, people want to know.
Okay, but that what does that have to do with the movie?
Well, I'd say it speaks to the character of Spider-Man. Should we root for him? Where was he?
But it's a little bit out of left field. I feel a little ambushed.
Much like how the people of this city were ambushed.
Wow. Okay.
Are you having a hard time answering the question? Is that it?
I'm having a bit of a hard time. When you called me, you invited me on. You said this would be about.
It's a simple
You
question.
said this would be about the movie.
It's a
Are you
simple
applying
question,
something
Spider-Man.
to stop it?
We've seen you do similar things before, Spider-Man. I don't see why not.
This is like
Don't we have a clip? Do we have a look at this?
This is like watching Piers Morgan.
The old Space Ghost show.
Oh, yeah. Well, as the space goes coast to coast.
Right.
Yeah.
Brax just getting zapped for no apparent reason.
I miss that show. Shit.
Yeah, you can see here, there's a helicopter flying, and right there, stop, and there's the Twin Towers right there, Spider-Man.
That is a helicopter. That's way smaller. It's way smaller than a fucking Boeing plane.
All right, so you're saying it was the size of a plane. That's why you left.
That joke hit me just as hard the first time.
Fucking hell, Sam loves this.
It was funny, man. I don't know what to tell you.
I didn't let anything happen. I'm not the only hero in New York. You know who was there, Spider-Man? Dr. Doom. And you know what? He was sweeping. Does he care more for this city than you do? Oh, that's just
Yeah.
Anyone else kind of thrown off the Spider-Man sounds like Michael J. Fox from Back to the Future days?
I think that's just solid JJ's voice. He's doing both of the voices in this, so.
performative bullshit. You say that's performative, Spider-Man. He was weeping. He's Dr. Doom. He's evil. Where were you? You had no answer. You couldn't have done anything. I don't know why he was crying. He's done the same thing like 15 fucking times. Please stop swearing, Spider-Man. Ask me something about the movie. Spider-Man Brand New.
You gonna make it through this, Sasquatch?
He's done the same thing like 15 fucking times. Yes. Yes, he has. Fucking wow.
Hey, ask me something about that.
Well, you know who didn't get a brand new day?
Don't say 9/11.
Everyone who died on 9/11.
God.
None of them got a brand new day because they died in 9/11.
Please ask me something else.
Fine, let's see what else we could ask you. What other questions do we have? And we have nothing. It's all 9/11. You have to answer the 9/11 question. We have you for 30
I don't know. I
minutes.
think this is Eric Stoltz.
We have you for 30 minutes, and that's the first question. So let's just.
We have to fill out the airtime. Oh, man.
This is going to be the entire broadcast. It says it at the bottom.
Right.
It's all 9/11.
By the way, I love Solid Judge. The dude makes some really, really funny stuff. He does.
He does, yeah.
He's very good at it.
Fill out the
30
airtime.
minutes. So, how was it? What was it supposed to say for 30 minutes?
How long we have you for? All right, we're going to allow some callers in now. If you would like to ask Spider-Man your 9/11 related questions, please call the station.
It doesn't have to. It does not have to be about 9/11.
Buddy?
But it can be.
Yeah, sure.
I think this is actually the first one I've seen where there's live action.
I think this is, he talks about that. I think this is the first one he's done where there's been live action because it's almost always like stills or whatever that has been manipulated or whatever from old cartoons and that kind of thing. Sometimes he gets other voice actors. Most of the time, it's just him doing all the voices.
Yeah.
So,
You can ask me my secret identity. I might say
caller number 1, you're on the air.
Hi, Richard, big fan. I'm glad we're finally asking these questions. Spider-Man has dodged the 9/11 question for as long as we've known him. I believe that it's time that he finally faced the music and just tells us.
that's the Green Goblin.
No.
That's the Green Goblin.
you remember that old Saturday Night Live sketch with Land Shark where he goes up and knocks on the door and he's like, "Candy Grab Man." She's like, "Wait a minute, you're that shark, aren't you?" He's like, "I'm really only a dolphin, ma'am."
I'm not that shark.
No,
I know it's you, Goblin. I know that's you on the phone.
I
know it's you. Come on, you've done way worse to this city. You've blown up towers and bridges. Come on, I don't want to hear this.
Spider-Man, this might be a shock to the spider senses, but the people of the city just want answers. You have to let them out.
I was biting my tongue, but I'm just going to say it. This city has experienced way worse than 9/11. Like every other day, there are people coming in from space, blowing up towers.
In the context of Marvel 616, he's not wrong.
That's very true.
Dude, it's rough.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Rhino out there just plowing down freaking like armored trucks like they're vending machines.
Yeah.
I mean, even
comic book.
The first Avengers movie, right? Arguably pretty up there in terms of like scale of destruction.
Oh, way worse.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to live in comic book New York City. Well, it's not too much worse than what we have here, I guess.
It strikes me as living in like GTA. It's a similar sort of vibe when it comes to the amount of just gratuitous destruction. It's like New Guy.
Right.
Like, I love superheroes and all of that world, but would I want to live in a world full of them? God, no.
Yeah. It's not gonna,
That'd be horrific.
It would Although if you were in construction or demolition, you'd be making bank.
True.
Never without work.
Which is funny because that's the entire Vulture's origin story.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
fucking beautiful. I love it. Yeah. And I love the character too. The whole idea that he's just basically ganking alien tech.
Well, that's not how it was in the comic book, though, was it?
No, it's not.
It was just
But I
the
love
movie.
the
Not in the
idea
comics,
behind it.
no.
Yeah, in the
it
comic
was just
book,
the
when I
first
thought
Tom
he was a
Holland
rich
movie.
guy who was trying to find a way to live forever, and
Yeah, and he
responsibility
built
absorb
the
you.
Vulture suit because it made it easier somehow to rob banks on the ground,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so that he could fund his research into not dying, essentially.
Yeah. But I like the movie Origin a little better because he's just a union guy trying to take care of his boys. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Meteors flying from the sky. You cannot really
portals.
comparing. Galactus came down. He tried to eat the city. Where was I? I was swinging
Let me
around. I was
talk.
doing my
Let me
part.
talk. All right, look, we're not going to ask the question. All right, we're going to move on. We don't need to ask the question. Clearly, you're too sensitive on this
No, I
topic.
took a few hours out of my day to be. I'm Spider-Man. Why am
You
I
just
here?
wanted
Why am
to
I crucified on live television?
We apologize. We'll move on. We'll drop
Breaking
the
news, he's
subject. We'll
Spider-Man.
allow a caller in and we'll wrap it up.
One
Right?
last one.
You see that shit pop up? It's like breaking news. He's Spider-Man.
Right.
No one before that.
Oh.
Spider-Man says 9/11, not so bad.
Well, I mean, when you compare it to like Dr. Manhattan level events happening twice a week, and that's not counting the petty crime that folks like goddamn the
I mean,
different
Dr. Manhattan would never give a fuck.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's like the Dr. Manhattan level threats occur like once a week, but you've got 372 other lesser criminals that are like, you know,
Yeah.
I keep getting sucked into the Joker because of the endless henchmen he seems to have. Like, I just want to know. I'm playing this game for 18 fucking hours straight. I've literally murdered 300,000 henchmen. And this one dude jumps out with his little goddamn candy cane and is going to come whop me in the fucking head. Bitch, I'm Batman. Do you really think you're that guy? I'm just saying, where do they get these guys? What is their hiring policy? I bet their HR sucks.
It's a tough kind of cane.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you convince that guy to take that fatal step?
The dental is a really good.
Well, then you get just like your run of the mill
drug
crazy
him.
bastards who aren't even henchmen. They're just kind of their own thing, but they're so low tier that nobody even remembers that. Like, do you know who Condiment Man is?
Yeah.
Because he's a Batman villain.
Yeah.
He does exist.
I'm just thinking, it doesn't matter how good the dental is, bro. You're going to be eating your food through a straw for the next 18 fucking months while you're in traction. Because I'm going to break
The guy
your
wears
fucking back.
actual tidy whities for trunks over his tights.
Yep.
That was back during when like they could just make any villain they wanted. Oh, like
Yeah.
what are we gonna? What's the flavor of the week, guys? Think
I'm
of
just
this.
saying, a lot of
Calendar
the guys that Batman fights were just kind of like, you know, dudes who maybe should have been put in an asylum and forgotten about. You know, Calendar Man got a little bit of his due in The Long Halloween, though. If you haven't read The Long Halloween, you should definitely do so. It's excellent.
Yeah.
So.
We could all be
Anybody else
freaking
have
Batman.
Oracle Man
villains.
going through their head now?
I do now that you mention it, that you brought it up.
Size of the entire universe, man.
Right. Particle Man. Done. For some reason, I'm thinking of the See, now I'm thinking of the theme from the old Spider-Man TV show.
Yeah. Spider-Man,
Particle Man does whatever a particle can.
That makes me
Which is
think of
not correct.
Biodome when they're doing that. Iron Man. He goes, that's not right. And Black Sabbath did Iron Man. What, you some sort of scientist, some sort of rocket scientist?
Right.
Yeah, I am.
I tell you what, the weirdest character from either franchise is Dog Welder. Have you ever heard of that?
I imagine he welds a dog.
I've seen art of Dog Welder.
Yeah.
That seems like a pretty self-explanatory name.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
He's a supposed superhero who welds dogs to his enemies' faces.
Are these dogs
Because
alive when
why
he does
wouldn't
it?
you? Sometimes.
Because I mean, dog corpses is one thing, but live dogs might be a bit much.
I don't think they're always
Well, let's
dead.
finish this and we'll look into the great mystery of Dog Welder. You'll love it. It's right up your alley.
Don't go down
And
that
I'm
dark
right, caller
road.
number 2,
It's
you're on the air.
fucking mental.
Listen, I know for a fact where Spider-Man was that day. It would have been impossible for him to stop it. Because he was flying one of the goddamn planes! He's a menace!
JJ.
Hey gamers, hope you enjoyed this one. This is like the
That was good.
All right.
That's good. JJ, get your bag. you fucking earned it.
Right.
That's it. That's all I got, man.
Yeah. Hold on. I've got to do the Dog Welder thing.
Yeah. Oh, definitely go. I don't have his link in the description. If I remember to later, I'll put it there. But definitely go check out Solo JJ's channel. He's
It's a great channel.
Yeah.
Dog Welder is a famously absurd and grotesque character from DC Comics. He is a masked mute vigilante whose sole superpower is the uncanny ability to weld dead dogs onto the faces of his enemies. To explore his strange origins, you can browse blah, 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 other shit and crap.
Mm-hmm.
He was created by Garth Ennis, an artist John
that
McRae
explains
first
it.
appeared
Of course.
in
Yeah.
Hitman number 18 in 1997.
Yeah. The Garth Ennis thing explains everything.
He's a prominent member of Section 8, an eccentric and wildly incompetent team of amateur superheroes operating out of Gotham City's gutters. This reminds me of some ambush bug vibes over here.
Fucking mental.
Have you ever seen any ambush bug stuff?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So ambush bug is this chick's like very mentally challenged brother. And one day, after watching some of his favorite comic book characters on a new TV show, he falls out of a window, bangs his head, and gets tangled up in some laundry. And when he climbs out of the laundry, he's got on what appears to be, as far as he can tell, a superhero outfit, and he runs away to go be a superhero. And the rest of the series is about him saving everybody, but is also basically just a deranged kid in underwear running around.
Yeah.
And it swings back and forth from his perspective of things happening to his sister's explanation of what just went down. And it's fucking hilarious.
It says, it's a bit like Calvin and Hobbes in the terms of perception
In a much darker way. When you realize that it's just, her Down syndrome retarded brother running away trying to be a superhero 3 times a week, and she's got to go dig him out of all the shit he's gotten himself into. Because he was involved in a bank robbery. He was at the big fire. He was there. He went there because he's a superhero.
Did you ever see a Woody Harrelson movie called Defendor?
Yeah,
God,
unfortunately.
Seen the
it was kind of a
Defendor.
similar concept. It was kind of a similar concept about this guy.
He cracked his head and decided he was
yeah, but he was already
superhero.
simple to begin with, right? He's not a very smart man, but and he grew up on stories of captains of industry, basically oppressing the little people.
Yeah.
So he gets it into his head that there's a guy called Captain Industry that's oppressing the little people. And
he goes looking for him.
He was looking for him, and it goes very badly. Better than you'd expect, but it's not great.
Oh,
Did
shit.
you guys?
England beat Norway 2-1.
Good for England. Yeah, but
How much do you know about the Max?
I haven't picked up a Max book in fucking decades, man.
The Max, dude. So there's two parts to this comic. In one reality, this chick is a pizza delivery chick, and she's randomly getting assaulted by misogynistic men and horrible people. And the Max is a homeless guy who's stalking her. In another aspect of the comics reality, she is a princess and the only person who can save the universe when the big bad comes. And the Max is her personal guardian savior. His purpose of existing is to protect her until she can save the universe. But he doesn't distinguish between the two realities. He just basically kills everything that comes within arm's reach of her. Pets, birds, people, everything.
Yeah. There's some intense shit out there. Ardent Party saying Super was arguably worse. I'm assuming he's talking about Defendor there. So, yeah, I think the main difference is, though, is that Rainn Wilson was basically playing the main character from Falling Down in a fucking costume. Like, he wasn't a retard. He was just a guy who had too much. You know, and he went a little lead pipe happy. You know, but whereas Defendor was a guy who was arguably delusional and definitely simple, you know, lower IQ, trying to do the right thing and getting himself involved in some very sticky situations.
Did you guys get a chance to talk about the Fort Worth Police Department?
No, I don't know anything about that.
They have multiple videos of multiple cops from the Fort Worth Police Department literally trying to tell a street preacher that he can't talk at a gay pride parade. He's standing on a public sidewalk preaching, and they come up and say, "We'll arrest you if you speak." It's like England over there. And now they've opened up an investigation. The DOJ said, "We're aware of it, of the videos. We have opened an investigation, and we are going to go after them if these are true allegations."
Yeah, it's weird. I follow Harmeet Dillon on fucking Twitter on both of her fucking accounts, her official one and her personal one, and I didn't hear anything about this because I probably wasn't looking, I guess. I don't know. Twix changed their entire fucking UI this week, and it's retarded too. I can't find half of what I'm looking for on here anyway.
Here, I'll put the video, at least the first video. Like I said, they've had sergeants that got caught on camera, another dude cop, but this is what the first one I saw. But
sorry, so
and it turns out the preacher, the street preacher, is also a former freaking federal officer, and he's telling her this, and she's all like, "Well, that's not a local thing." It's all like the First Amendment kind of works everywhere, dumb bitch. But okay.
Yeah, how the fuck could they have the authority to do any of that?
She doesn't.
That ordinance means like music.
Is that it there?
Yeah.
Yep. I got you, bro.
That ordinance means like music, not talking. If someone is offended by your talking, then we have a problem.
That is a constitutional violation of your rights. If you shut us down,
no. If they are offended by your speech, okay, then I'll write you this ticket. Then we'll.
I have some questions.
Offended by speech doesn't mean anything. There's no law preventing people.
Are they using amplification methods?
They're using, yeah, but they do address that the where the ordinance of noise goes. They're within the ordinance. They're not over it. Because yeah, that's exactly it. They're all like, we did not go above this many decibels, which means we are completely. She is strictly going at them because they are preaching on the corner, and there's a gay pride parade going on, essentially.
I think the limit on that, at least in most municipalities, is something like 90 decibels or below.
Yeah.
Well, some of them don't necessarily. They do have limits, but they also have permitting policies where if you're going to use amplification, it doesn't matter what you're amplifying. You have to get a permit within a certain distance of like City Hall or.
But that's not what she's talking about. She's literally talking about offense. She is saying that because the people over there, the gays, are offended, I'm gonna cite them.
Right.
Yeah.
Like if I could see Sasquatch if they didn't have permits for like sound equipment and amplification, like you're saying, I could see that being an issue. But that's a separate issue than the one that they're actually coming after her about, which they can't do anything about.
Yeah, but
Right.
if they didn't have permits, wouldn't they be arrested immediately?
No.
No.
Depends on exactly what's going on. If it's like a
You can
gross
say whatever you want on a
violation,
public
yes.
sidewalk.
Yes.
Yeah.
If it's a gross violation of the permitted process, they're liable to take you downtown, but you're probably not going to get charged with anything more than whatever version of contempt of cop they have locally.
Hmm.
Okay, so
In this case, this is her personal politics invading on her job.
Yeah, this is. Yeah.
She's overstepping her authority here.
Way far, way long far.
Go from here.
Wait, you're going to take us for offensive speech?
Yes, absolutely.
Are you serious?
Speech.
You're going to cite us for
Yes, it's
offensive
called disorderly
speech.
conduct.
That's
Yes,
no.
it is.
Disorderly conduct has to be accompanied by conduct.
This is the conduct
I'm
that
a
you're
retired
Action.
police officer myself.
Oh my God, she's woman-splaining legal definitions now. Oh dear, this is not going to go well for you, honey.
What's
Yeah.
real funny about that too
People-
is that surprisingly few police officers actually do know the letter of the law.
Yeah, and
no,
like
they're
I
not
said,
required to at all.
There is no such thing as offensive speech.
Yeah,
You
and
either
like I
have
said,
free speech or you don't.
I've got 3 more videos from Fort Worth where they did the same thing. And none of them have been community noted. None of them have been disputed. And like I said, the DOJ has
Yeah.
come out. The actual, I think it's the second in charge of the DOJ, but she came out and said we are investigating this as a potential violation of people's rights.
I mean, I will say this: the Dallas-Fort Worth area is not quite as lefty as Austin, but it is pretty lefty, and it's also not that far from Plano, which was for a while the heroin capital of the United States. It's also where the Dallas Cowboys are quartered.
The two do not correlate.
Are you okay, Sasquatch?
I'm dying. I'm having an absolute sneezing fit over here. Watch this while I finish it.
26 years federal law enforcement.
So it's federal. So this has nothing to do with local.
Wow.
It has nothing to do with local.
Yeah. Well, I look
do
at
whatever y'all think that you can do.
whatever,
It says 80
whatever we think.
decibels.
Wow.
It
says 80 decibels.
And y'all know the law so well. I'm not gonna let y'all.
So I just want to clarify.
She says she's not going to let y'all do whatever you want.
Yep.
After she said, if you all know the law so well. I mean,
oh, it's madness.
Yeah. You can't.
Yeah.
I don't think she does know the law at all. I think that she is making shit up because she's in her feelings about something that she should not be even addressing while wearing that uniform, because as a public servant, you are to maintain a politically neutral stance while representing the government that you work for. And the reason for that is to
Feelings
avoid
and the law.
favoritism and alienating part of the population, particularly in your capacity as someone who is supposed to be ostensibly there to protect and serve the public. All of them.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're involved in any way in making sure the law actually gets applied, your feelings are irrelevant.
Dude, I work in local government. I can't even look like I might have an opinion on a thing when they're doing like political shit.
Yeah.
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 No. Because if the public sees that shit, somebody's going to blow it out of proportion and sue the city.
Yep.
All right, let's punch through this.
If anything is said that's offensive, you're going to write a ticket?
If someone complains that your language or what you're saying is offensive,
Pretty loud.
Like I said, England, sure, you guys expect that at this point. Offense
Pretty
is
much, yeah.
considered a crime. But here in America, yeah, the fact that they thought they could say this and it wouldn't bust their ass, because like I said, you're violating their civil rights. This is not a little thing.
Yeah. In the USA, this is absurd.
Yeah.
I mean,
and then the final one is actually a supervisor saying the same thing.
Of course it is.
Officer Heron, let's see what he has to say about it.
to be where you want to be.
Well, can you tell her too that she can't cite us for speech is offensive because she threatened to cite us if we have offensive speech?
It depends on what you're saying. Who's offended?
So if
Actually,
I say homosexuality is
not in this country.
Yeah,
it doesn't depend on that at all. You can say whatever the fuck you like, and they can be as offended as they fucking want to.
No,
as long as nobody's fucking assaulting anybody, you can't be issuing citations because.
Are they aware that I established a channel on offending people?
Yes.
Tell them to fuck off, assert your First Amendment rights, and walk away.
Yeah. I would personally, if it was me, just being straight up honest, I would push the thing to get arrested, because then I'd be like, oh, I'm so going to own your badges. I'm going to put them on my wall like a trophy after I fucking get your jobs taken away from you. I would push it just to get that situation to happen. I'd be like, I dare you to fucking violate my rights, you dumb sons of bitches.
You ever met Chris Reeder? He's for public safety. Another chick named Official Misconduct, which is the greatest name in YouTube history for anybody fucking with the cops, by the way. Official Misconduct, bro. It's great. But she's way funnier than he is, and he has a little bit of TDS going on. So he's kind of hard to talk to sometimes. But basically, they had a typographical error. Somebody mistransposed something, and legally he was investigated for possession of marijuana in the mid-90s, and that shit comes back and haunts him. And he says he was never investigated. He never talked to anybody. There was never any case. Like, he was never arrested. Nothing to do with it. Like, he has no memory of none of that, right? And yet the records are in there. But then when you look at the records, the description of the person that they were questioning at the police department does not match Chris in any way whatsoever. It's obviously someone lying, say, using his name. And the local police tried to use that as grounds to get like a warrant to search his house, warrant to search his farm, all kinds of other crap associated with all of that stuff, and all but ruin this man. And the only thing that pulled him around the corner, and I wouldn't swear to use around the corner, but the only thing that got him through all of that was having the wherewithal to film everything that happened with the police from the initial raid immediately after it. And he went and FOIA'd every camera, every photograph, every message sent from one phone to another associated with people involved in the fucking investigation. Like, he did all of that shit. He's my hero.
People don't understand how often freaking law enforcement does get shit wrong. Like, literally, they fuck up all the time.
Dude.
And
I was part of a hold on. I was part of a jury, right? And while we were listening to the case, one of the cops tells a flat, bald-faced lie because he made the statement that he was standing at a given spot behind the convenience store, and he saw him run through a door that simply is impossible because there is a new fence behind that store. It was put up 2 days before the robbery. And I sat there and stared at him while I'm in the jury box. And when we got back there, I said, listen, I said, we can take everything else from this case face value. I said, that cop lied. And they went, how do you imagine he lied? I said, there's been a fence built behind that fucking place since 2 weeks before that robbery took place. That guy jumped the fence. This cop did not. He could not see those apartments from where he's standing. I wish to completely disregard this testimony entirely. And they all went, okay. But we also had motherfucker on camera. So, like, I wanted to be clear. I'm like, look, that's bullshit. This is legit.
Here's the thing, like Bush is saying here, they do fuck up all the time. However, there are 52 million police interactions a year, and 99% of the time they're right. So here's the thing. This is why, for the most part, body cams have been a good thing, because it doesn't just record the public, doing horrible shit like attacking them outright, right? It doesn't just record those. It also records when the cops fuck up, right? And that's why that has been, in general, a good thing. The bad part about it is that they're all now tied into the flux system too. So there's that.
Do you know how we ended up with body cameras?
I believe it was because police were getting sued quite a bit, and they were like, "All right, fine, we'll fucking."
They were being accused of being so racist that they were influencing the economic status of entire neighborhoods in different cities, and so there's a big push to body cam police to prove how racist they were. And what it actually proved was people fucking suck, and cops are people. That's what it proved.
Well, also, the reason why cameras are included on cop cars is if you've ever seen a police training video, the first video they show you is someone jumping out of a vehicle, seemingly totally pacifistic, and then he murdered the officer.
I think that case took place in Georgia, sir. I think I know the one you're talking about. That's
a standard training video. Yeah.
I thought it was so you don't wiggle your dick in the car.
I mean, I don't want you doing that either.
They can't take chances.
Yeah.
But
so, like, I think
sometimes they fuck things up.
They do, because they're humans, same as everybody else. And sometimes those jobs attract bad fucking people. Sometimes that happens.
Of course they do.
You know?
And the thing is it was like when COVID was happening, they were using the cops as essentially shock troops to fucking, run people down because they're out of their house.
Which is a big part of why there's a dearth of good cops in the country, because a lot of the good cops in the country quit when they were being asked to fucking run over.
I know of at least 5 individuals who were cops before COVID that all took early retirement and are doing various other things.
The ones who stayed behind, in large part, not everyone, but the ones who stayed behind in large part were good little fucking jackbooted soldiers, or they were malicious to begin with. They were sociopaths attracted to the power of the badge. Right. A lot of it, and again, it's not all of them. It isn't by a large stretch, but a lot of the ones after the initial like mass exodus of good cops when they were being told to do fucking bad things, the ones who stayed were the ones who do what they're told, or the ones who get off on it.
I can't remember what county it was. We had this one county over here in Georgia. I think it was Colton County, but I can't swear to that. I just remember seeing the video. But the sheriff and the police chief and the mayor all had a little town meeting stump session thing at the local city hall. And the message that they were sending is, this is all bullshit. We don't believe any of it. If you want to come to Colton County and have you a big party, y'all come right on down here. We're having open air markets. We've got our farmers market. We have 7 days a week of open service in Colton County. So y'all come on down. Just no mask, no list, none. We're not doing none of that. And there was some discussion between the governor and some senators about, and I quote, possible National Guard activity, but nothing ever happened. Mainly because you're not going to roll in on literally the local government and tell them that they're going to close everything down through military force without it being a real big stink, bro. That shit's going to get errant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I said, I'm not anti-cop. It's just the shine is off. I'm just not. I'm not gonna sit there and because I have family members in law enforcement. I just don't sit there and ignore some glaring bad behavior from.
Mine became game wardens, if you can believe it. Game wardens and park rangers. My family's eat up with them.
I think if there's one good thing that came out of this is it was the idea that when an interaction happens, right, you're not immediately on one side or the other anymore. It's like, okay, let's look at what actually happened. Let's look at the evidence that you have, and I'll make my determination from there.
Yeah,
which is kind of in a roundabout way, bringing people around to the idea of treating people like individuals again.
What was that chick's name? Her last name was Good. Was it Rebecca Good? Aaron Good? Something like that.
It was I think it was Aaron Good. And
that was one of the most divine. And I creep my swampy ass through all of the nasty snake pits of YouTube, right? And that one case was Renee Good. Thank you. Was one of the most divisive points I have seen in a chat in years.
I don't know what
it was more divisive than Trump, and it didn't split on any particular line. But one distinctive split that you could witness was anyone who was more or less left of center said that she got murdered. Anyone to the right of center said that the cop was defending the vehicle, was defending himself.
I don't know what to tell y'all. It was a good shoot.
Yeah.
I hate it as much as everybody else does. She fucked up.
Yeah.
Should she have paid for it with her life? Probably not. Was the cop jumpy? Sure. But the facts of the matter are it was a good shoot. I hate it.
Yeah. We're just going to skate past the fact that we both made the same pun, by the way.
I ain't doing it. We ain't.
So free speech does not include the
no threats. No threats. No threats. No threats.
If you make fun of somebody, if you call them certain words, and they feel offended by that, unfortunately, that is the part of the.
So if I call somebody,
no threats. Yes,
like a
terrorist threat can be illegal, but no offense has nothing to do with it. I could have like Sam was saying, I could offend somebody all day. I could walk up to Muslims with a pack of bacon swinging in the air and tell them to kiss my ass, and Muhammad's a pedophile piece of shit. Can't do shit to me.
I mean, the Muslims can and will.
Police
can't do legally shit. They can.
Legally they can't.
Legally
hold on.
They can.
To be clear, the police can't do shit from you because the First Amendment restrains the government from enforcing any of that bullshit. Right. However, Mohammed over there might come beat the living shit out of you.
Yeah.
And
well, they would still be violating. They'd still be breaking the law doing it. I'm not saying they can't do it. Yeah, they'll probably kill me, but it still would be against the law.
Yeah, that's murder, sir. But a country ass whooping might be fair combat depending on circumstances.
Country ass whooping.
You ever had a country ass whooping?
Why do you think I have the bacon? I'll just be.
I think that's just because they won't hit him if they're gonna touch that shit.
Yeah, it's like poop on a stick. Remember that skit? I can't remember where it's from. Where it's all the most dangerous weapon on earth is poop on a stick because no one will approach you.
Also, if you poke them with a stick, they get an infection. That's sepsis, and that's just happening.
Right. Hey, there have been many tribes throughout the history in the world that coated their weapons and their arrows and shit in their own shit specifically to cause exactly that. Because even a graze can end up with a dead enemy.
Behold my poop staff.
Oh no, sir. It was way worse than that. Genghis Khan had a position in his army whose entire purpose was to collect night soil specifically from their infirmary camps because the sick people and wounded people didn't garrison with the rest of the army. They literally had a guy whose job it was to go to the sick camp, the nearest one, and haul back thousands of pounds of freaking infected poop and deliver it to the front lines to be used on their weapons when sieging cities and whatnot.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
You get a disease.
And you get a disease. And you get a disease. Think about it. When they were flinging those horses over the freaking walls and shit, they weren't just flinging fleas in there. They weren't just exploiting the plague, which was a huge factor in all this. But also, if any drop from those rotten shit-infested corpses from the infirmary happens to land anywhere near a rivulet of water headed to the local drinking supply, the whole city's fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's just a matter of time.
Genghis Khan was a fucking genius, though.
On so many levels. One of the most brilliant, think about it, his fucking army probably spoke no less than 7 languages. The logistics alone is absolutely mind-boggling. But what he does to make this, hold on, let me finish this. What he does to deal with that is he assigns 7 people to 7 different divisions, and all divisions are a little bit parsed out between the different units, right? And so every division has at least 4 people that can speak all 4 languages and 20 or 30 people that speak any combination of 2. And it's literally their job to make sure everybody knows what the fuck is going on. And so he creates this system where every time an order is given, it is repeated by the second guy in 2 languages and the third guy in the other 2 languages, and the fourth guy repeats all the orders in all 4 languages. It was genius.
Yeah. One of his most genius military tactics was so simple. You attach a little block of wood to your horse's tail with a nail in it. So as you're all riding towards your enemy, it kicks up so much dust, it seems as though you've got like 10, 20, 50 times as many.
Sure. But I think his most genius act, the way that he would go about it. So here's Genghis Khan reaching the eastern frontier of Europe. He's approaching the rear side of their mountains. That's going to be an issue here in the near future, right? And as he's approaching, he doesn't just lay siege to. He used to just lay siege to cities, but he stopped doing that. Once he got out of the main Mongolian heartland, he approached it a little bit different. We're on one end of the Silk Road here. There are two ways to leave this city. You can go east, you can go west. There's nothing to the north and no connection to the south until you get further that way or further this way. And so he would show up, show everybody his freaking army, build a big ass fire and throw a huge party on a hillside over here where everybody could see it. And as many people as possible would flee this city as refugees going to the next city up the line. And then he would lay siege to this city and give those people a week to get to where they're going, and then go show up over there while still sieging this city here. Right. And so the refugee population just exploded out in front of the advancing Mongol army because he specifically allowed time for refugees to flee a city before he actually set it to the torch.
And you know how his entire army was eventually defeated? A single man was sent out directly to his forces and just said, bruh, it's some gay shit. Genghis Khan turned back. True story. Kind of.
It happened that one time at Bad Cat. Trust me, bro.
That one time, yeah.
But there's so much to it. There's so much more to it than just, a particular level of genius. The methods that he utilized had been extant in the Mongolian environment for 2,000 years before he puts them all together into this hyper successful military campaign. And a whole bunch of different little things had to come together before it could happen. Specifically, the fucking stirrup. I don't know who the dude was who was like, hey, if we put a string over the horse, we can stay on it better. And I could use a bow. That guy, he didn't get paid nearly enough. I mean, consider this. It took the Australians literally English motherfuckers showing up before they developed anything related to a stirrup. Right? The Africans didn't even domesticate the zebra. How do you? Yeah, I know they're mean as hell. I know they're not horses. I get it. But when you hear hooves, You think horses, not zebras, and I think that's atrocious. I think you should fear zebras all the time. There's a non-zero possibility that you will be killed by a zebra tonight.
Sweet.
Okay, sorry about that. Andy Pickles talking about Prima Nocta here, the will breed to mount thing. I think Longshanks stole that from the Muslims. I think that was a thing that because you recall that wasn't too long after the whole Richard the Lionheart had his Middle Eastern escapades.
Mm-hmm.
Around that time period. Well, they probably brought back some new ideas. Just saying.
Where were the Visigoths from?
Gynecology forever. The Visigoths were kind of an amalgamation of stuff, but they came originally, I think, from the northeast, which would have been Siberia way, and maybe not quite that far north, but
Germanics, maybe.
No, they're Slavs. They were Slavs.
They're Slavs. Okay.
Yeah. They were an offshoot of the Huns, I think. So they came from Asia, but like North Asia.
Right. Pre-Hungarian Hungarians.
Which, by the way, I made this point the other night talking to somebody. I don't remember who. But if we're gonna call Indians and Middle Easterners Asians, then we need to call Russians Asian too. And I know that'll blow a lot of people's pea-picking brains about that shit.
Yeah.
But most of Russia is in Asia.
Dude, I'm catching the biggest flack over here trying to convince motherfuckers that Spain is in Europe.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, Russia is almost the entirety of the northern half of that continent.
Okay, most of Russia is in Asia, but most Russians aren't in Asia.
But they do have a lot of genetic and phenotype similarities due to all of the breeding between the various tribes and whatnot. Yes, they are genetically and biologically Asian.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, if we're going to call the subcontinent just South Asia now, which I think is stupid, it's in South Asia, but
there's lots of differences, dude. Those people have more differences in themselves between each other, more racism between tribes over there than there is in all of the U.S., man. Everybody says it's racist to be like, oh, they're Chinese because they're some sort of Asian, right?
Mm-hmm.
But no, they will get down on what village of Vietnamese you are.
All I'm saying is if you're just going to go by geographic and continental standards, then you got to include the Russians too. If not,
but no, they look white.
Then we can make regional distinctions, like with Africa. North Africa looks very different demographically than Central Africa does. You know, there are multiple peoples who live on a continent, but most of the time when you think African, you think sub-Saharan because most of the continent is below the Sahara. All of the good stuff that was developed was above the Sahara, then it got usurped by the fucking Arabs who were Asian.
This is fixing to get really complicated, bro.
Anyway, the point is,
in a minute, somebody's going to bring up an Aryan, and it's going to go completely off the rails.
Yeah, well, it's like it's
Where's
like
Shadu?
Turkey, right? Turkey is kind of like halfway between both
Mike?
European and Middle Eastern, kind of, but only because of the trade routes.
Yeah, we call it the Near East.
Yeah. So, but I mean, it's literally across the Aegean from Greece. It's right there. You know, the Aegean is not a very big body of water. So, I don't know.
There's still a YouTuber who used a particular bay in the Aegean to grow either clams or oysters or some shit. That's what he did for a living. His whole YouTube career was based around the fact that his uncle bought him a camera and his neighbor had really good Wi-Fi. and he started filming stuff and uploading it to YouTube. And then he makes more money from YouTube than he does from his oyster business, but his family's been in the oyster business for 500 fucking years in that place, and he doesn't see how there's anything wrong with still doing the oysters, even though he's like the local millionaire who pretty much bought the island and finances all the diesel and everything. But what's really cool about all that,
what's his name, Bubba?
I never could figure out what it was. All I ever hear is him do a Ravesh check, Raveshnik, Schneck check, something. Anyway, he just he sounds Russian, walks Russian, talks Russian. He's Greek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
I can see that.
You sure he's not a New Yorker?
I couldn't swear to it. All I could swear to you is two things. He hates oysters. And he spends his quality, what he refers to as alone time, he calls it quality time, watching a Mongolian fellow make portable grills out of old stainless steel serving things like old military serving pans and stuff. This dude welds together little pack grills for people back east.
They throw back to an earlier conversation. I guess Los Angeles just suspended their contract with Flock for their camera services on violations of people's civil rights.
Yeah, I believe that's actually there's a growing list of cities that are doing that. I don't have it in front of me, but and there aren't that many yet, but there are cities that are canceling their contracts with it because it's fucked. The whole idea is fucked.
So,
what is basically taking place is across the country, all of the municipalities that have signed into like the Flock agreement and stuff, individually, people who are getting inappropriate tickets and whatnot using the Flock system, or cops that are misusing the Flock system, are being brought into court and being held accountable for it. And the court cases end up rendering the likelihood of another suit coming in on the same level as this one too high for the city to maintain the contracts, which is one of the few ways a municipality can back out of a contract.
Yeah, Old Bloody saying, wait until people find out Flock can track illegals for ICE. Yeah, that's how they're selling it. That's how they sold it in the fucking first place, man. It was tracking illegals, tracking criminals, tracking all that stuff. That's not how it's going to be fucking used. Yeah, they're going to be turning that on the people of the
innocent
United
people,
States. And there might, in fact, be some precedent under the Patriot Act that would enable. I'm not going to say allow, but enable. Civil rights violations like this, but this is not a good thing overall, right? But that's how they sell it. That's the same way they do with like the facial recognition scans in your devices and all that. It's like, oh, it's for protecting children. No, it's fucking not. It's just how they're selling it.
It never is.
So, yeah, like of course it can do those things as well, but that's not the intended purpose.
Yeah.
Oh, that's I hate that's why we watched Solid JJ today, because it needed a laugh, frankly. There's way too much of this shit happening in the world. I don't like the way things are going because once the West goes, it's all jihadi all the time for everybody, everywhere. The communists are going to fall to the jihadis. That is going to happen. If they succeed in their mutual goal of destroying everybody else, the communists will lose the fight that follows, period.
Once the West goes, the whole world does.
They are utterly outnumbered by true believers.
And this is why I preach the concept of American manifest globalism. We unite the world under the Constitution against the aliens.
I mean, define alien.
I'm open to suggestions on this point. I'm just saying,
Because
if the U.S.
as an
government
American,
is going to say there's
I define
aliens,
alien is not us.
Okay, well, we'll have to leave a few people out then. Any suggestions?
Everybody.
I'm not even certain Australia's real. We can start there.
Yeah, look, nothing personal. It's just, I'm a nationalist and an isolationist. So,
well, so am I.
Right. We can talk.
Wrong nation.
Yeah, we're the best of friends.
yeah. But still, stay the fuck out of my country, foreigner.
Yeah, take your beans on toast and get the fuck out.
Hold on. These gentlemen don't understand what they're saying. I am perfectly happy with you immigrating over here through absolutely legal means, but if you hop that fucking border, watch what happens.
Right.
I think you should abandon your island while you have a chance. They make boats over there, I hear.
And you know what? If some limited legal immigration might be okay, I just think that we need to put the border wall, finish the border wall on the southern border, build one on the northern border, and at 50-foot intervals, we need to be stapling cartel members alive.
Dude, I'm ready to put like one of the ocean walls like in Pacific Rim.
That's been extreme, but I'm listening. How do we finance it? No, hold on. I keep going back to the premise that you have two choices. You either believe that our intel services are so inept that 4 or 5 cartels literally operate within and without of the U.S. and just fringing its borders, both north and south, or that the NSA and FBI are running a number of cartels in and out of the U.S.
Sure. Look, the only reason I suggested cartel members is because we already know they're bad fucking people. I ain't going to feel bad about stapling them alive to a wall as a deterrent and a warning.
No, I got you. I'm just saying,
because it's not just a warning to cartels or people who work with cartels. It's a warning to everybody. Like, do not enter my country without permission, or you might end up on a wall.
Well, it's okay if we just call them tapestries. That's how we get around it.
Yeah, but I'm talking like
one referred to them as cordwood.
Industrial staplers, right? Like to the meat. Yeah, it'd be good. All I'm saying is bad neighbors make good fences.
So saith Vlad the Impaler.
He was not wrong about that.
Arguably,
the Ottoman Empire was
enactment.
Sure, but arguably the Ottoman Empire was more competent and organized than a lot of the fucking people that we're seeing stream through our southern fucking border, and they turned around and went home.
I think maybe a rational decision might have been made while they were walking through a forest of their countrymen's corpses. And homeboy was having breakfast. Yeah, I think I'd just go home.
That the quote from the messenger who reported this back to the commander of the Janissaries, I believe what he said was, and don't quote me on this, I'm probably misphrasing it, but what kind of man would do this because I think a lot of times it gets misattributed as what kind of man would do this to his own people, because there was some confusion as to what he was actually doing later on. But at the time, I think it was just what kind of man would do this. This is fucking awful. But they weren't Romanians in that forest. They were Turks. There were 20,000 Turkish soldiers.
Yep.
Right. Now, there were Romanians who had been impaled at different periods of time, but that is not the forest that the Turks came upon. The forest was their own countrymen.
So, when it comes to Britain, I'm never going to abandon it. Hey,
Jack.
I have to do what needs to be done here. And if that means the White Cliffs of Dover get a little bit darker, I've got no problem with that.
Dude, stain that shit
in Minecraft.
Steps on the Aztec temple.
Those fucking plinths where they stacked up all the heads. Right? You realize the archaeologists like consider this shit. It was such a dark period that for 400 years later, anyone who found it went, fuck that. It just left. They didn't touch shit. The archaeologists show up and these goddamn heads are still stacked up right where they were left right after the ceremony. Bro. I love it.
I'd quite happily redecorate all of the shores of Britain with the skulls of everyone who came here that we didn't ask for. Just like our Celtic ancestors did.
You could just line up some trebuchets along the English Channel and send them back to France.
That you draw that back a little bit. We are live, and you are where you are. And I love you, and I don't want my green little friend meeting Bubba, Bertha, or Bert.
It's fine. It's fine. Speaking of which, shout out to Jack in the chat.
Yeah. Also, Ardent's onto something. I think, like I said, you need to line up a bunch of trebuchets along the English Channel. And
they got you, Abe.
Yeah, see, that's not freaking British special. What do you call it? SWAT. They wear panties and freaking have their hair did in braids and shit.
It's an old clip, man. Come on, there's something to say for vintage. I want to go get the clip from the what was it, the Blues Brothers, where all the guys are running along saying hut 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 hut.
Yeah.
And I want to loop that for like 3 minutes straight.
Yep, Jack's got it. I'm just getting going.
Yeah.
Damn, Arden, I'm not very drunk. Come on.
To be fair, he kind of slurs a little bit when he's sober.
Yeah.
I mean, that was just a little stroke.
It's just my parlance.
No problem.
Yeah, that's just him being English.
Yeah.
which what he doesn't realize is that goes along with his limp wrist. He just thinks it's a natural.
Oh, fuck you.
I want to.
You'd like to, wouldn't you, with that limp wrist? I've seen you do.
I would love to have Abe get drunk.
Okay,
and,
I guess we're invading the United States now.
I think
Good
it's so
luck.
salty that Jack
Remember
was,
John Paul
Jack was
Jones,
sitting on
bitch? There's a
Sasquatch
bunch
last
of us
week.
over here.
Yeah, I'll just say it. I think Abe's still a little salty that you tried to steal his man last week.
Yeah.
You and
You
Jack up
get
here
your
flirting up a storm.
fucking hands off Jack.
I haven't touched him. He touches me.
Yeah, he touches Sasquatch like a Don Bluth film.
Ain't nothing but a little old cricket bug.
Right. Goodbye, Squeaker.
An Englishman
Anyway,
isn't
on that
considered
note,
drunk until his speech is
hell no.
unintelligible. Well, to many Americans, that's day one.
It took me a little while to translate, Abe. Hey, man, I told you that in confidence, and it was just that one time, and I was young, and I needed the money, and I didn't dislike it.
It's fine.
Oh, man.
I was in the chair.
It's all fine. It's all good. It is what it is. I don't know. It's not all good, but we're gonna make believe it is. We're gonna be like
Jack told me that was a
meme
tap
with the
light.
dog and the little hat and the coffee cup at the table while the whole fucking room burns around him.
It's fine. The whole house is burning down. This is fine.
This is fine.
This is just fine.
It's
I feel that
fine.
way every day, bro.
Indeed.
Every day. Every time I turn on this computer. There are days, look, I've had so much YouTube fucking overload, freaking doom scroll overload, that there are times where I sit down in front of the computer and I'm supposed to go do some shit like this today, right? And I'm like, what kind of fucked up shit are they going to show me today?
That's what he says.
Yeah. But what you don't realize is that England beat Norway and them
No, you said
bitches
that
are
earlier.
out. England. England.
I thought you also said you don't care earlier.
Well, I don't care sometimes.
Until you do. And then suddenly you care a lot. I got you.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's how I think I go through life too. Is like most of the time it's like, yeah, it's happening over there. It's not really my issue until it becomes my issue, and then I care a lot.
Well, when we be a team that's actually really fucking solid.
Is Norway the one with that blonde-haired guy who's been wrecking people?
I mean, probably it's Norway.
Well, no, there's this one player that I've been seeing.
I don't know nothing about
all
it,
over the
but that
place.
sounds right.
They even put him as Cyber Viking or whatever, or the Techno Viking. They've had him etched into that video.
He's a fucking amazing player. Yeah.
Is that the one who flinched at his own reflection? That shit was funny as hell. He's over here eating a sandwich, looks over at his reflection, and he's like, Jesus. Oh, yeah. No, it's just me. It's me. Oh, it's great.
I think I might be getting delirious from the heat as well, to be honest.
Yeah, you can have all of that shit, dude. It was like 89 degrees today. It was fucking gorgeous.
It's like 120 in my room now.
Smelting lead on your bed.
It's like 60 degrees here.
All of your fish and tackle stuck together.
No, that's 120 degrees F.
120 Fahrenheit in England.
Hey, bro.
Maybe there is something to that global warming.
It's hot as fuck. And
There was this invention.
my hair is wet.
It was back before there was even in England to be hot. It's called a window. Look into it.
Got a window
Air conditioning.
open.
Look into it.
Got multiple fans on. Yeah. Doesn't make any difference.
It doesn't.
It's the humidity.
I know, dude. It's fucked up. I know.
It's the fucking humidity. I can't sweat enough.
I'm in Georgia. I know what you mean. See, it's supposed to be foggy there now, but it's too hot for that shit. So it's just muggy instead.
Yeah.
It's like
Close this down, Sam.
It's like he had to step away for a second. We're supposed to vamp out for a minute, and I'm not supposed to mention it. But do us a song and dance there, devil.
Song and what?
So, hey, tell me about this muggy heat you're experiencing.
Oh God! more weather
Yeah,
talk.
it's shit.
I talked to a dude the other day, and this guy 100% tried to convince me that the reason they were building the big windmills was as a fan to cool off the earth because of global warming. He 100% believed that these big ass things were fans, and that their purpose was because fans cool you off, was to cool off the earth with big fans.
You can't fix stupid.
And
yeah,
I sat there, dude, and I always feel bad because I was about a quarter pint deep when he started, and I was about a half pint deep by the time he finished. And I went, bro, that is the stupidest thing I've ever heard anyone say. You believe that the big ass electric generating windmills out in the middle of like the Midwest that are popping up like daisy fields everywhere are active fans that burn electricity to spin to cool off the earth. Yeah, so it doesn't dry out all the dirt. We can have farms.
You back?
Yeah, I'm back. Why would that?
Thank God they started talking about the weather. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, sorry about that. I think I might need to see a doctor because I'm pretty sure I'm smelling asparagus in my piss.
But the question is, did you eat asparagus?
Yeah, that's
well. See, if I had eaten asparagus, that would explain it, right? But I haven't, so that's concerning.
It's not good, sir.
Grubhub doesn't deliver asparagus, so no, he hasn't.
Hold on. I just want to address this in chat, right? It's not the actual heat. If it was dry heat, we could deal with it. It'd be fine.
Yeah, you're right. Georgia, he's right though. Georgia experiences this shit like all the time. We have two fucking seasons here, right? We have wet hot season and we have wet cold season. And sometimes it freezes during wet cold season. And sometimes it's not quite so wet during the hot season.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, we got the same temperatures that fucking Europe has had right where I'm at too, but we have no humidity whatsoever. It's just dry.
Yeah.
It's very hot.
We,
it's like
we've
being
got
in a
no
convection
AC
oven,
and it's humid as fuck.
Yeah.
Out here, you walk outside, you immediately have mushrooms growing on your eyebrows. It's like wearing a pot wet sweater.
Well, the thing is, like, no matter how much you sweat, you can't wick away the heat.
All right, so I'm going to give you some old Georgia advice on this. We get you a towel and just have it nearby you. And once you reach that point of too sweaty and it not evaporating, use the towel to dab it the fuck up. Hang the towel up in front of a fan. It will cool the room a little bit while you sweat.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I already do that. I actually put ice cubes inside.
That's the end of that stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been an amazing show. We have no desire to know where he puts those ice cubes. Sam, do the thing.
Oh, yeah, I was thinking
know
straight
that
in my ass. Yeah, it's fine.
They melt real fast, so it's not like they stay ice cubes. But anyway, it's very warm in there. That said, this is a good stopping point. We probably should end it here. It's going to take us like 5 minutes to get through outros anyway. We're pushing up on 3 hours as it is. And I think I actually probably should go figure out what this asparagus smell is about. So that said, let's go around the horn and let people know where you can find them. Let's start with Devil.
The pub Friday going in Saturday. Bye.
That was easy. So easy. In fact, I wish I had one of those Staples buttons. But anyway, Caucasian Sasquatch, what you got?
Tomorrow with the Blast Radius with Captain Curmudgeon, 9 p.m., 8 p.m. Eastern. I'm supposed to be watching Game of Thrones. I don't have access to my HBO. I'm going to try to do something about that tomorrow, but no promises. Otherwise, we'll probably wax philosophical about some random bullshit. I asked him to pull 2 speech scripts, one from Kamala Harris and one from Donald Trump, and have AI take out all the adjectives and verbs, and we're gonna mad lib them. That's the plan. And by the way, I want everybody to do this. I think this should be a regular thing.
Like that actually
go ahead, Abe, do some shit, like whatever.
Right? That sounds like a good time. Hell yeah. But yeah, Abe, what do you got going on? Where can people find you?
Well, you can find me everywhere Abe's gonna get you. I don't know what I'm gonna be doing because I'm probably gonna be melting.
Yeah, most like.
Yeah.
But not your asshole, right? It has all those ice cubes in it for a minute.
Yeah, it's got the ice in it. It can't melt.
See.
Your ice melts, not your asshole.
He's just going out and getting some of those like orange push-ups from fucking Schwann's or whatever, and he's just sort of like incrementally pushing it up.
I actually just bought some.
So we're just waiting for we're just waiting for the news report of a naked dude in a Green Ranger helmet with a popsicle stick sticking out his ass. You're like, I know that dude. I know him.
I know that guy.
I don't know. I might eat them. They might go other places. I don't know yet.
My wife would be like, I bet you
sounding with them.
Oh man, that's enough of that. All right, y'all know where to find me here on this channel, Sammy Lee Infamous, most of the time. We've got a quiz night coming up next Friday on Abyssal Musings. We're going to have some guests for that. We have what was this, the 98th episode? We have 2 weeks until our 200th episode, where we will also have a couple of guests, and we'll be EFAPing What the Internet Did to Garfield by Super Eye Patch Wolf. Yeah, that's about it as far as the exciting shit coming up. Keep an eye out on Amir's channel for if and when she goes live. I haven't heard anything. If she does, I'll be there most likely. And we're gonna we're gonna see about getting through Dark Souls sooner rather than later. Got some other games coming up in the next month that I want to be streaming. So Demon Souls. I haven't even started the Dark Souls ones, but we'll maybe eventually get to the rest of those. But anywho, thanks for coming, everybody. Appreciate it. Everybody on each side, on Sasquatch's side, on my side, you guys are awesome. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you all next time. And remember, it could always be worse. You could be an ice cube. Your name's Fridge.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.